Welcome to the Shizzo, Yizall.
You're,
Were you just drinking colored Gatorade?
yo, you read my mind. Because when I bought that shit,
Show it to the people. Look at that. But that shit is probably delicious, though.
it's ain't. And I usually don't like this flavor, but it said Glacier Cherry, and it was like silver, and I was like, I think I could fuck with that. Like, it sort of looks, it's appealing.
Yeah, it does look good, even though I just like compared it to cum.
Yeah, that's my thing. It looked like some cum flavored Gatorade, and I was like, I could get past that.
Well, that shit definitely doesn't taste like it. Imagine they had like salt flavored Gatorade.
Isn't it so weird? Like there's mad just like fruits or like foods that have mad like sexual
Oh yeah,
like
cucumbers.
yeah, like a banana.
Banana,
Like
cucumber. What's the shit that if you squeeze it, it looks like a pussy a little bit? Is that like pomegranate or something? I saw this thing on Twitter
what?
where somebody was like squeezing this fruit or something, and it looked like it turned into like a pussy looking thing. It was weird.
Really?
Yeah, I don't remember what it was though.
I don't know, but we're just such animals as creatures, like as people.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, we
totally.
are fucking animals that like when we eat a banana, everybody just does like some sexual ass motion with it.
Yeah,
Everybody uses the cucumber emoji.
think of popsicles, man. When you're
Popsicle.
like when somebody's having a popsicle, you like if you're eating a popsicle in public, you look like you're sucking a dick. Like that's just the rule. Like there's no way to have a popsicle where you don't look like you're blowing somebody.
Or even if you're not trying to, someone's watching you thinking about you like blowing them.
Oh, no question. A story that I covered recently was a 100 and a lawmaker in Pennsylvania was caught groping his 103-year-old mother-in-law, and she has dementia. He would go to the nursing home and grab her tits.
What?
That's what exactly. That was my reaction. Like I didn't know that wasn't in my mind in like the this is possible category. Like that I never thought of that. It was just too out there. But like yeah, there are people out there like that. So
Well, then there's people out there like Jared who were like fucking like
oh yeah, Jared.
8-year-olds in Taiwan or wherever the hell he was, like weird spots like that.
Jared set back like stereotypes like decades because you could look at that guy and at first glance you go, that dude might be a pedophile.
Yeah.
Like first glance at Jared, everybody's like, something looks like it's up with that dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Anybody
fucked
who
up.
works too hard, like, I don't know. Oh, I just thought of this and then I was like, you work really hard at your radio show.
Yeah, no, I'm not a pedophile. I can promise you that.
No, not pedophile. But like
People
someone,
who are too into their shit.
yeah, like so into, I mean, like he was weight loss and like wasn't like a good looking dude, not like a good looking dude, you know?
To me it was just he had something about him. I don't know what it is, man. Like there was this thing on Twitter the other day that like it was like creepy pictures of famous serial killers from when they were young or something. And I went through them and like it was crazy because you could kind of see that they were fucking crazy and serial killers from when they were kids. Like they had this
Yeah.
look about them. And Jared, he doesn't have the look of somebody who's doing mass murder, but Jared has a look of somebody who might be into little kids.
Yeah.
And that's fucked up to say because you're going literally just based off of like totally prejudging somebody and what they look like and shit. But it just
Yeah.
so happened to be the case that with a guy like Jared, the initial thought of like, he might like little
Something
kids.
might be off.
Like something might
Yeah.
be off. That just turned out to be true in his case.
Well, that's like the same shit with this dude who just got off, Bill Cosby. Like I've always looked at him. And like just the way he spoke and like the conversations he'd have with people would just be off the fucking wall. And I'd be like, there's just something not right with him. Like, and like this whole act that like he's just being him. Like, no, there's something wrong with him.
I never understood like the Bill Cosby phenomenon. How when he became this huge star, and I always looked at it and thought like, wait, but why? Like, why is he famous? Why does anybody find him entertaining? And by the way, he was so popular that I'm sure that there are people in my audience who are like Bill Cosby fans and shit. But I'm just saying, me personally, I never got it. Like, I saw like his stand-up and shit, it was like, I don't really get it. But even if you look back at the Cosby Show, it's kind of creepy because Bill Cosby, he played this guy who's like almost like the perfect father. Like, it was supposed to be a comedy and shit, and so there'd be funny situations, and they'd come up with jokes or whatever. But, like, he played this, like, perfect father figure who's really disciplined, and, you know, he was like, he, like, raised a generation, and think, oh, like, that's our dad type shit. But, no, it turns out it was, like, overcompensation. Like, the reason why he was doing that character of, like, Mr. Discipline and Mr., you know, America... Is that because he was fucking...
Because in real life, he wasn't a good father,
in real life,
right?
he was the opposite. He was slipping
His, like,
people.
son killed himself or something, right?
Did
His son
that happen?
died.
I didn't know that.
His son died. His son either died or killed himself, one of the two. We're so bad. Like, if anybody watches us, like, hoping to get some facts, we're the worst show. Like, yo, I'm going to tune in today and hopefully get, like, some facts, or, like, they'll hit me with some shit that's like... Nah, we just make shit up.
You could Google it just to fact check us to make sure. But that made me think of randomly Michael Jordan's dad killing himself, right? Didn't he get killed, or wasn't he murdered or something?
He was murdered. Supposedly he owed money gambling, and
Jesus,
that's a whole different thing. But I think people just tend to, when something's so popular and so big that maybe a majority of people like it, other people will just assume that it's like a good thing, like the Cosby Show or Bill Cosby. So it's like, I don't know much about Bill Cosby, but I've always heard from either its parents or friends. It's just like, yeah, Cosby's funny. That's just the way of the land, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like we don't put enough research in, or at least I've never have to really. I've listened to a couple of his stand-ups, but every time I've seen him on TV,
you were like,
no. my impression was just like, no, he's not funny, and he's just weird and awkward. But everybody's like, nah, he's Bill Cosby. He was on the Cosby Show. I feel like that tends to happen with a lot of either like people.
Everything.
Yeah, who are likable, or shows that are likable. Like, I'll say some controversy ass shit. I didn't like fucking Friends. I never got into Friends.
Yeah, Friends. So here's my thing on Friends. Like, when I was a kid, my mom and sister would always watch it. You know, and so like sometimes I'd be there when they watch it, so I'd watch it too. And it was always okay, but the like fawning fucking Friends lovers, I didn't get it. But you know what? I don't know if it's geared towards like audiences like us, like people like us. You know
I don't know if I ever gave it a chance. Like, they're literally just friends, and they just like are going through their daily lives. Like, what's the humor in the shit? I never really.
Friends who were like young and they're, I guess, in their 20s at the time, and we're living in the city.
Like they were like fucking 42-year old. Like they look dumb old.
Yeah, they do have that. Yeah, it's so weird how the movies does that and like TV shows do that. Like, I'm 17, bitch, you're 36. Like, what are you talking about? But it's the same thing with But I'll say some controversial shit now since you just shared your controversial shit. So I half agree with you on Friends because to me it was like, okay, sometimes I laugh, but sometimes not. I didn't get like the obsession with it type thing. But I never really got into Seinfeld.
See, that one I'd have to argue a little bit. I never really got into it that much either.
I never gave it a chance though, to be fair. Like, I never sat down and said, let me watch Seinfeld on some... Like, let me just say I'm going to watch at least 3 episodes right now. I never did that. Because I just catch bits and pieces and go, eh.
Yeah. But they were on some, like, next level shit where they were actually, you know, taking topics and dissecting them. Like,
were they?
Well, yeah, they would do weird things. Like, if they were at the diner, the waitress had to have a weird tick, and that would be about the episode. And, you know, they'd build on that. Whereas Friends to me was just like, there was no fucking plot. It was just them being friends. And I was just like, nah.
See, Seinfeld, people always said, like, oh, it's a show about nothing, and that's why it's brilliant. And I'd be like, I don't know. I just didn't really get it. But maybe I'll give it a shot. Do they have that on Netflix or no? I don't know.
I think another reason why we never really gave Seinfeld a chance, or maybe I didn't, it's just because it was everywhere. And I was just like, go away. It was on Channel 11. It was on WB.
Yeah.
Then it would be on Fox late night before like the news came on, or after the news. It'd probably be on like Nickelodeon or like TBS and TNT. One of those like when it's so many places, it's almost just like get the fuck away.
And
like I want to find you.
I've always had that contrarian thing too, where like if something is too much in my face, I'm like guaranteed to be like totally fuck this thing. I'm not even gonna give it a chance
Yep.
because I just like it annoys me when like my friend's dad used to always bring up Seinfeld and it always made me want to be like shut the fuck up. Like now I hate it because of you, and that's just a thing. But you know what? That's good. That's good sometimes because it allows you to like be more distant and skeptical and look at everything a little more objectively. But at the same time, sometimes guys like me, we end up missing out on some hot shit because some shit that a lot of people like actually is some hot shit. Like,
that's true.
That's what happened with me in Breaking Bad. Like, it was so oh my God, everybody, every 8 seconds, Breaking Bad, Breaking Bad, Breaking Bad. I'd be like, fucking break your jaw on a concrete pavement away from me because I don't want to hear about fucking Breaking Bad anymore. But then when I actually watched Breaking Bad, I was like, this shit is fire.
Yeah.
So,
it's a weird line because people are corny and everyone wants to be that person that I know with music, and I don't listen to much music, but they're always just like, oh, I heard of this guy before he was on the radio. And I'm just like, all right, cool. But like everybody wants to be the one to discover the fucking first, I was watching that TV show before everybody was watching it. Now everybody's watching it. Like I don't really watch that shit anymore.
Yeah.
And it's just like, why give up on the show? I mean, if it's a good show, it's hard to trust people. Like, I mean, if everyone's watching that shit, you're sort of like, it's probably just some commercial wax shit.
Yeah, like fucking Big Bang Theory or some shit.
Ugh, I fucking hate Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
But where did I have that with? I had it with something. Oh, I was watching Parks and Recs. Like, I watched like the first. Do you ever see that one with?
No.
It was like Aziz Ansari and there was Ron Swanson. He wears a mustache.
Never watched it.
I watched like the first like 5 episodes of that, and I was like, this is cool, I like it, and like no one was really watching it, and then it like blew the fuck up, and I don't think it's on the air anymore, but like everyone and their mother watches it, and I sort of was on some snobby shit where I was like, nah, I was watching that shit on episode 1, like,
yeah. Though that is kind of cool though, like you were able to find it when it was in its early phases. And you know who I did that with? And this is going to sound crazy, but you actually can attest to this because you know I did this shit. Lil Wayne. I was on Lil Wayne shit all the way back. The Block is Hot. All the way back in the day when he was only known by like hood-ass dudes in New Orleans.
Where, he was just featured on like someone's mixtape or something like that.
Yeah, all the way from back then. I was like that
because you were big on Juvenile and all those like New Orleans people, like
Juvenile,
Cash
BG,
Money Millionaires, all those
Cash
motherfuckers.
Money, that's right. Yeah.
Damn, those. I sometimes just think about what their lives were like in
and
that.
What are they
prime
doing now? That's what I always think about. Oh, you're saying
now,
in the prime shit.
in the prime time, like because they were still just living in the hood of New Orleans.
Yeah.
Like the shit they must have been doing, like with women, like if
the
video was out there back then.
And the shit they bought, like Birdman, and the shit he probably just bought everything.
Oh, like just
he's probably in so much debt now. Oh my god.
No, Birdman. No, he probably has a lot of money because I think he still like does his like all those side rappers probably definitely don't have any money.
Yeah, and some of them are in jail.
That's true.
Yeah.
There was a meme of you remember Charmeleon?
Chameleonaire.
Chameleonaire or Charmeleon?
That's a Pokemon, I think.
That's what happens when your fucking rap name is too close to a Pokemon.
I know. And because I had to pause and I was like, wait, is his name Charmeleon? Like,
well, was it? You sure it wasn't I know the Pokemon was Charmeleon.
I'm pretty sure it's Chameleonaire.
Chameleon.
They see me rolling.
Yeah.
They hate it.
So there was a meme of him he was courtside at the like one of the finals games for Golden State. And people were clowning him like, how the fuck does this guy have courtside seats? Like he made one hit record.
That's right, he did.
But the meme was like he owns some companies in like Silicon Valley now or some shit.
No.
And he invested his money like properly.
Did he?
Yeah, so he like is like a multi whatever now because he invested in like startup companies in Silicon Valley.
That's fucking smart. You know what's crazy? Like I know if I apply myself to that type of shit, I could do well too, but I don't want to care about that and invest in all that shit. Like that's a whole nother thing because I saw what the market did to my dad and that shit was a disaster. So I
don't get that shit. So like if someone gave me like what these I hear so many stories.
Take Chameleonaire. Use his example because I'm sure he made probably $2 million. Let's say.
Yeah. Okay. So if I made $2 million, I'd be fucking happy with that. Like I don't need someone telling me like, hey, if you invest that in housing projects, you can make fucking $20 million.
So, okay, but you gotta break it down though. So let's say $2 million. Okay.
Mm-hmm. He had
So
that shit in what, the early 2000s or something like
okay,
that.
so let's say adjusted for inflation, let's say it's 2.5 million dollars. Okay. So first of all, people like that, they're gonna want like maybe at least like a 3,000 square foot house. I'm being super conservative on that because they probably want a 10,000 square foot shit, like a mansion type shit. Depending on where you get it. If you get it in any of the major areas, you're talking about like a 3,000 square foot house minimum, probably bigger. Right off the bat, you're talking about like 800,000 of that money down the drain. So
Yeah.
2.5 million minus 800,000, how much is left over? I suck at math. 2.5, 1.5, 1.7.
Well,
So 1.7 is left, right? So then you got 1.7 million. Right off the bat, you got to look at the taxes on that place. It's going to be 20 grand a year. So start subtracting 20 grand a year. Then you're going to want like a Lamborghini on top of that shit and a Maserati or some shit. Like
or probably buy a house for your mom or something like that.
Buy a house for your mom. $2.5 million for the type of lifestyle that these guys want to live, that shit is going to last you, if you're lucky, 5 years, 6 years. So that's why when people come to them and they're like, yo, you turn this into 20 million, turn this into 40 million, they're susceptible to it. But the thing is, like I was saying, if you like know enough, you can beat the markets, like
So what do you mean? Like what would be your advice? I mean, like,
so I'll give you an example. If somebody's smart enough and knows enough about economics and knows enough about politics, they could have looked at the situation we were in 2006 and said, "Oh, this is a housing bubble, like a motherfucker, and this shit is gonna burst." And what you do is you short the housing market. In other words, you bet that the housing market is gonna plummet.
yeah. Did you see that movie that came out?
Yeah, The Big Short or whatever.
Yeah.
Those guys are an example of it. So, and then you could turn fucking 50 grand into like 8 million or 20 million or whatever, just if you know these types of things.
Yeah.
So, like for example, coal industry. The day Trump got elected, if I was an investor, I would have invested in the coal industry. Why? Because under a Republican president, they're going to fucking deregulate the shit out of coal. They're going to let them do whatever they want, maybe even give them subsidies, and there's going to be a rebound in coal. So, like, you make money in the short term. Now, the problem is, when do you sell it? Well, that's when you gotta, that's the thing, you gotta be on top of it, because if a Democrat wins, then you want to sell it before the Democrat gets in power, because then it's going to affect prices. So, investing is like a full-time thing. And even though I know enough to do kinds of investments, I don't like it. I don't care enough, and I don't want to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you have to be like money hungry to do that type of shit.
But you also have a different background, as do I. It's like we've grown up in situations where we've worked. We understand money. We understand we don't need a house with 40 bathrooms and.
Oh yeah.
Like,
If you get 2.5 mil and you're a regular person, that could last you a very long time. Yeah, totally. Especially if you live like you don't have that money, that you can cruise on that for a long time, sure. But those guys that never want to do that. They don't want to fucking drive a Subaru. They don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they want to they want to at least show a little bit. Like these dudes, remember what they said about Allen Iverson? Like he would buy all new clothes in every city he went. Like he wouldn't wash his clothes, he'd just throw them out.
You remember the fucking show Pimp My Ride with Exhibit?
Oh.
The shit they used to do to car, like, they would get cars from fucking East Compton, like the shittiest beat up car.
And they put a fish tank in the trunk.
They put the fucking fish tank in the trunk.
We got 36-inch rims on this bitch.
They'd put TVs on the outside rims, bro. Like, this car just came from the hood of all hoods. And beyond the fact that no one can watch that fucking TV, it's just gonna get stolen when it leaves the fucking lot. Like,
yo, we put a hot tub in the back, yo. They would do shit that just made no goddamn sense. It just
the stupid. But then they'd go to the fucking. They like cut away to the person whose car it is, and they'd be like, "That's fucking what's up."
That's
like,
what I wanted. Like, what
if
the
that was
fuck?
my car, I'll just be like, "Yo, can you just restore it without all this shit?" Like,
like all I wanted was a new paint job and a nice leather interior.
like, nah. But we just put
We replaced your wheels with rims. You don't even have tires no more. You're just driving on big ass rims.
I saw today driving. Someone had one of those cars that you remember, like in the movies where like the back would go, and the car sat
the hydraulics. Mm-hmm.
He had that shit.
Oh.
And it was just like some ugly ass looking dude just in like a gray t-shirt, and the car was mad beat up, and he was going to make a left turn, and the back of his car was down, the front of it was up, the tires, like there was mad space in between the tires, and then he rose it up and the car started bouncing, and I was just like, that guy's dick must be so fucking small.
I had that thought today. I was walking to get something to eat, and there's this dude that like turned the corner, and there was a light at the parking lot to pull out. But like, there's one car in front of him. He turns and pulls up. He leaves like 15 feet between the car in front of him, and I'm walking. He goes right in the middle of my path. I'm like, the fuck is this guy doing? So it's him, and he's like an older dude too. Mm-hmm. And his shit, it was like a souped up like crazy Dodge Charger, and his engine was like, and I was like, oh, this guy is so fucking obnoxious. I don't know who he is, but I don't like him. And then I had to fucking make a 90-degree turn, walk around, go around the entire time. I was actually saying under my breath, I'm like, thanks, genius. I'm lucky his window wasn't down, because he was like, oh, what'd you say?
Yeah, he probably would have been
one of those dudes. Yeah.
I had that. I was in Walmart, and I was driving out of the parking lot, like going straight, and I had the right of way, and dude like tried to come from one of the parking lanes to turn out left, and like sort of got close to my car, and like I will never have a confrontation in a car. I hate when people give middle fingers and all that shit.
Right.
So I gave him like one of these, like just like
what are you doing? Yeah.
And then he looked back at me with like one of these, and then I just went like one of these again, and then I just kept driving. I was like, I was okay with that.
Yeah. That shit happened to me, and I got more tight. On my
Do you have road rage?
No, it wasn't road rage, but with the face, the what are you doing face, I had that to the max, because on my cheat day I went to Burger King to get the new 2 weeks in a row, actually, on my cheat day, to get that new crispy chicken sandwich. It's fucking monumentally delicious, yeah. And I've been sleeping on shakes like a motherfucker. Shakes are so beyond delicious, and I haven't had one in like fucking years. And I had one, I was like, I've been missing out. I'm just a fool for not having shakes more. But so I was turning. I had my blinker on, my left blinker, to turn into the parking lot, and there's traffic coming this way. And there's one dude who's waiting to pull out of the parking lot, and he had been waiting to make the right, so he wouldn't have been an issue for me at all or whatever. Some woman drives next to him, and like the area, she blocks the lane that you're supposed to turn in, like the place where you're supposed to turn into Burger King. She makes it seem like it's two out lanes when it's only an in lane and an out lane. And then she fucking pulls out like almost in the middle of traffic and pulls in front of him and hops around him and goes that direction. And the entire time it was clear, so I could have went and made the left. And she's just sitting there blocking it. I'm looking at her like, what the fuck are you doing?
She was just chilling?
She didn't acknowledge me. She didn't look at me, nothing. But she just like drove out of that shit and turned and went. And I was like, that really pissed. Sometimes
she might have had no idea. Like she might have had no idea.
It was I probably didn't describe it correctly, but it wasn't like a grandma type shit.
Oh really?
No, it wasn't like that. It was like a young, maybe 35-year-old woman who just was like, fuck this. Because you know what it was? She was parked in a spot that was close to the exit.
Oh no, then that's fucked up.
Yeah, because what she needed to do is back out and then keep it in reverse and then get behind that other car. But she was like, "Fuck this! I'm just gonna go and fuck all these people."
Oh,
I hate that shit. Like sometimes I can get that feeling of road rage tough. Like one of the things that gets me really tight is when I'm driving like normal ass speed down a road, and then somebody decides to pull off a side street, turn really fast to get in front of me, and then they fucking slow down.
Go
like
OD slow.
25 miles an hour, and I'm like, oh.
Yep. Another one is 2 lanes, like in a residential area or some shit, and the 2 cars, maybe one guy's asking for directions or some shit. He's got his window down, like yelling to the other car, and they're just going the same speed, but like you're that person behind them.
Oh.
You're just like, yo, what the fuck? Like, pull over and talk to them. If you have like,
Oh.
you shouldn't be talking on the road.
Or people just stopping in the middle of some shit where they shouldn't be stopping,
Yep.
and
Yep.
just like chilling. Like they'll let, oh, my friend's running to the bank, and they're just stopped in the middle of the fucking street.
Yeah.
And then you got to go around them, but their car's coming the other way, and you're just like,
Yeah.
what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, you just fucking find a spot and walk 3 minutes. What do you?
Yeah.
I hate that.
People just do shit on the road that they don't even feel like no one's behind them or anything, and that they'll just stop and they'll look, and I'm just like, yo, like you have to stop real hard on your brakes. But sometimes that subtle, just like, what the fuck are you doing face, whether in a car or like in person, that shit sometimes works more than like getting angry. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's almost like, yo,
Yeah.
you're fucking up. You're being a little like extra, like you're ODing a little bit, and then they sort of know like,
Because I think they
I am
feel,
fucking up.
yeah, they feel like the pressure of that more, because it's almost like it's more subtle. You're right, and it almost just lets them know like you're being an idiot. But if you hit them with the getting angry, then they're gonna naturally get defensive because everybody wants to be like, well, wait, see it from my point of view type shit. But if you just hit them with the,
Yeah.
then they're like, oh wait, what? Oh yeah, maybe I am being an idiot. But I very rarely had an instance where like somebody's being stupid driving, and then they kind of like acknowledge it, you know? If I fuck up, I hit people with the wave like immediately.
Yeah.
I'll be like,
same.
like, thank you. Like, my bad. Like, I fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, I fucked up. I know that. I'm acknowledging you.
You
real
give the
quick.
like,
And then what happens is all the time, exactly. And then what happens is
you're
all the
fucking
time,
Sammy Sosa when he used to
exactly. They'll hit you back too. Like 99% of the time, as long as you acknowledge them that they hooked you up, they'll be like no problem. Like, I got you because you just acknowledged that I hooked you up.
Yeah.
Yeah, the weird.
But then there's that dickhead, like, you hooked me up when they weren't trying to. Like, when you're either on the left and there's traffic getting off for an exit and you go all the way up and then merge in at the last second, but you give your hand out like, yep, thank you. But they didn't want to. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
that kind?
Yeah, I do.
That one's sort of some dickhead shit. That one gets me tight too. Just thinking about that now. Someone else does that, and they're saying like, I accept your thank you when you didn't even like give that shit.
Yeah. Last time I played golf, the people I was playing with, I didn't know. They just hooked me up with whoever at the beginning of a round. They, like, on 2 holes, like, in a row, they teed off when the group in front of them wasn't far enough in front. And, like, the ball came super close to them. And, like, on one of them, the group turned around and they're like, what the fuck are you, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And, you know, I knew, like, after they hit, like, ooh, those guys are too close. But, like, I wasn't close enough to them yet where I could hit them with like, I was still pulling up. So they were just, like, hitting already. And then when the time I got up there, I'm like, yo, they're not out there that far. Like, I don't know what you're doing. And then it happened again. And I saw the person, like, who they hit into, like, getting super fucking, like, angry. So then I hit my shot, and it started going at them. I screamed 4 really loud. Like, I was like, 4! Like, letting them know. And then dude was, like, started screaming at us.
So he took it out for your boy or whoever you were with out on you.
Exactly. So I pulled up, and I was like, my apologies, man. They were like, no, it's okay. You screamed 4. Like, he almost hit me with the, like, oh, I know it was, like, it was them type shit. And I was like, yeah, I don't think they knew the distances or whatever. But he was so fucking mad after I hit my shot that when I was pulling up, I was thinking, like, there's a 28% chance I'm going to get in a fist fight right now. That's
but
what I
you
was
said
thinking.
he wasn't tight at you.
No, he wasn't. I was surprised because he was, like, making all these hand motions and getting super angry and shit and screaming back at us. But then, like, what I did, because I'm not a bitch, is I took my cart and drove right at him. And I was driving right at him, and then I said, like, hey, man, I'm sorry. Like, my fault. I hope you guys heard me scream 4. Is everybody okay? And then he was cool.
Oh, so that's what's up. If he respected a little bit that you let him know the truth.
Yeah. How's your internet? Is your internet okay? I see you keep peeking down and shit.
Yeah, no, I turned the shit into full screen.
Oh, okay. I was concerned that my shit was choppy as a motherfucker.
It was too low.
Oh, okay. So my shit was updating. The thing I used to record us was updating, and that shit, like, of course, it hit me with a fucking password. It was like, yeah, you're making changes, you gotta put your password in. And I was like, oh, fuck. So I just aborted it. But now I'm thinking, like, I hope that
It was like if you're having a kid and the doctor's like, we just need you to tell us this one information that you learned a couple of years ago. You're just like, just cancel this shit. End it. I don't know it. I don't want to answer this.
It was a password to life. No, I couldn't. So I aborted it, but I'm thinking like, fuck, maybe that shit is going to hit us with... Because remember when you didn't turn your computer off for a while?
Oh, fuck,
and then it hit you with like a...
It says something on the top of my shit now. It was like, HDMI, Samsung detected. Start using this device for Skype calls now, question mark. HDMI, and there's a check or an X.
Detected.
But my mouse isn't on my fucking laptop screen. It's on the screen behind my screen. So I can't press no. So our shit will probably be OD fucked up.
No, I think it's fine. At least as of right now. It might be a little choppy, but that's no big deal. That's whatever.
I've never seen that. Oh, you know what? There might be some wireless headsets by this laptop. Maybe it picked that up.
Oh, it's Samsung? Are the headphones Samsung? Or no?
Maybe. I don't know.
Whatever. It's
There's this fucking creepy ass doll that's creeping me out. I don't know how this ended up in my house, but look at this shit.
That is creepy. By the way, I was trying to hide this, but I wasn't able to effectively hide it.
Didn't they send you another care package, Seltzer? You told me I think they sent you another shit.
Oh, yeah, but that had nothing to do with the show, I don't think.
Well, I mean, it had to, no?
No, because the last time it was from like a specific person who I had interacted with on Twitter.
Oh, really?
And then he sent me it.
I thought the company sent you like...
yeah, the company, not like... It wasn't... The person's name wasn't there. He didn't write a letter or anything this time. They just hit me with some shit. I was like, damn, son.
Oh, so you think a fan sent you Seltzer or something?
No. The company sent me it, but I think they had put me, I guess, on some sort of list where if there's like new products or something, they just hit you with a quick sample. I think.
That's what's up.
They hit me with a strawberry flavored seltzer, which just tastes like straight up strawberry soda. It was delicious.
I buy strawberry seltzer.
It was delicious. Yep. Yo, show that creepy ass doll again. Like I like how I just glossed over that because I was trying to hide my seltzer.
I don't know how this... I think my wife, mom brought it home. Isn't that shit mad creepy?
That shit is creepy as fuck.
And it's got, glasses. This shit is probably thinking right now, wait till you fall asleep. I'm going to fucking touch your dick as much as I like.
There was a good YouTube video I saw a while back. I think it was on a channel called Vsauce. Where
that sounds like some OD porn shit.
No, it's science shit. OD science shit. But it does sound kind of porny.
It could pass for porny. Vsauce.
Yeah, it does sound kind of porny. It's like X sauce. X sauce would definitely be porny.
Yeah.
But he got into the science of why we find things creepy. What is it about something that why do we think certain things look creepy and certain things don't look creepy? What is it about the thing that's creepy that makes it creepy? Mm-hmm. And I think one of the things was, if it looks somewhat relatable to you, but then in, a way that stands out, it's very different. So, with dolls, that makes perfect sense because, they kind of look like people, but then, it's really creepy and different because they're just lifeless and they got the dead eyes that just stare at you and the fucking plastic-ass face and shit.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So that's, when people make horror movies, they got to keep these, rules in mind when they're crafting some creepy shit. And one of the things that they'll do is, you'll see a lot of creepy faces have, everything looks normal, but then big-ass eyes. Or everything looks normal, but then a fucking, mouth that has, fangs or some shit. And it's, relatable enough where you're like, oh, that's a person, very inviting, let me go say hi, and oh my god, and then you see what they're really like, and it's like, shit, that's one of the things that was the science of what's creepy. I thought that was super interesting.
Well, yeah, Toy Story worked well. I mean, it wasn't really creepy.
What, Toy Story?
Yeah, but because they were dolls and toys. But then I tried to watch Sausage. Was it Sausage Fest?
Sausage Party.
Sausage Fest.
That's
Sausage Party. That shit was trash.
You didn't like Sausage Party? Is that the thing with the grocery stores and
with Seth Rogen?
I laughed at that shit.
Did you?
I did. I kind of liked it.
I don't think I really gave it a chance. I think I watched some of it, and then I stopped watching it. It just didn't make sense to me. It was just like the hot dogs and then the buns.
So
And
I
the...
went into it thinking like this is just
Did you
gonna
see it
be...
in the theaters?
No. But I
Oh,
went into it thinking like this is just gonna be like a kid's cartoon, and then it was like fucking like X-rated, and I was like, oh, that's what's up. Like I thought it exceeded expectations by far. But
well,
that's not. But those aren't creepy, right? That's not. I wasn't thinking Toy Story. Like Toy Story's not creepy, and that shit's not creepy.
no,
That's just a
but
cartoon.
some people are creeped out by fucking toys. I mean, people are creeped out by clowns. I never got that.
The clown, I kind of get. I'm not creeped out by them, but I can see it.
Just
You
because
know?
of the makeup and like,
Yeah, because it kind of fits that thing. Like, it's somewhat similar to people, but you're not like a person. I mean, obviously, all clowns are like people dressed as a clown, but like,
the whole
yeah,
concept of clowns is just sort of weird and scary. Like someone dresses up in makeup to make you laugh.
well, that's what I was gonna say. Isn't it like old ass entertainment? Like, isn't that what a clown is? Like back in the year like 1612, people would be like, "Oh, let's do something fun," and it's like, what is there to do? Movies don't exist yet, so let me dress up all silly and go, "Woo-hoo-hoo."
Yeah. Well, who was the first big clown? Was that dude Bozo the Clown, right?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I think it was like Bozo the Clown.
I have
And
no
he just
idea.
came out with like props, and instead of like just being a normal person and trying to make someone laugh, you had to get fucking dressed up.
That's
with
old school
weird
stand-up
props.
comedy. Old school stand-up comedy is a clown.
Yeah, for real.
It might be. Yeah, it makes sense. Like, let's make people
I'm
laugh.
sure
How do you
there
make them laugh? Put a big red nose on and go honk honk.
Yeah. I mean, I could see how people are afraid of fucking clowns. It's weird.
Yeah, clowns are ridiculous. I had
They're weird.
my very first girlfriend was afraid of clowns, and I was always like,
Really?
I didn't really get it, but I can kind of see it a little bit. But I always felt like it's always a little bit like exaggerated too, not just with her, but with everybody who says they're afraid of clowns.
Yeah.
They'll hit you with some shit where it's like, yeah, you might think it's a little creepy, but you're not like really that scared.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not scared of
No,
clowns.
not
The only
you.
thing
I'm saying other.
Oh.
Yeah, the people who are kind of.
Oh, some people are. Some people, they see a clown and they like run. I mean, like it's just a natural reaction for a kid to hide behind their parent or something
Oh,
like
for a
that.
kid, sure. For a kid, sure. But what is it with like, you know how they have the different phobias, like arachnophobia, fear of spiders, and all that type of shit? Like, how serious is it for the different things? Like, there are people who are afraid of like all types of shit. How serious is it? Like, is it like it's not like clinically diagnosable, right? Like, this person has a fear of this, and they seriously need to never see that, and you got to give them, anxiety medication if they do see it.
Well, I mean, so I'm watching the TV show Better Call Saul.
Me too, but don't ruin it. If
I
you're
won't,
going
I
to say
won't.
something from yesterday's episode, don't ruin it because I
No,
didn't
no,
watch
no,
that
no,
yet.
I won't.
Okay.
But you know that his brother has that, like.
Yeah, that's fake.
it's-
That shit is fake. Yeah, the Wi-Fi.
But is it though? Like, I mean, it's
is, yeah.
electronics. I mean, like you would say someone being afraid of spiders could be fake, but
yeah,
there's a
but no,
disease
but-
for it. There's a term for it.
So that's a good. That's a good example because he proved that it is fake.
He
proved
did with the battery on him.
with
yeah.
the battery on him. Yeah, he proved that it's fake, and like, so it's all in his head basically is the point. But yeah, but that's my point. Is I guess like like for people who have a serious phobia of something, how much of it is like, is it a clinical diagnosis? Is my question. Like, is it something where they got to go to the fucking doctor and be like, no, seriously, I can't ever look at eggs. Eggs scare me. I mean, they just sit there and they're all oval shaped and.
I mean, it depends. It's weird. There used to be that TV show where they were like addicted to laundry detergent and weird shit. Like everyone has just weird
Oh, the
ticks
fucking
inside their head. You remember that?
yeah. What is it? People who would like, I eat paper.
OCD.
Right? Yeah.
Or their OCD was one of them, and then like My Strange Addiction.
My Strange Addiction is the one I'm thinking of, where there
Yeah.
would be like somebody who I can't stop eating paper. That's all I eat is paper. I wake up, I eat paper. I just keep eating paper.
The
like-
girl ate laundry detergent or like dryer sheets or one of them.
Dryer sheets might not kill you. I
It
don't
might
know.
taste.
The laundry detergent I think would kill you if you start drinking laundry detergent. That shit'll kill you.
Probably. She's probably dead somewhere right now.
Yeah, the OCD shit is crazy. People who have to keep doing the same thing, and I know that's a real thing. Like that's real as a heart attack there, because that's just a medical straight up medical thing where they got to treat you and you got to go to therapy and
But
all
that too, I mean, you could almost just I guess maybe the qualification would you'd go crazy if you didn't do what you needed to do.
Yeah.
You know, like
I
I mean,
think
he started going crazy when lights and stuff went on. So maybe it is a clinical disease or
I
something.
wonder if there's any documented cases of that. I'd be interested to see. But when I was a kid, I think I went through like a weird phase where I kind of had something like this.
An OCD type of thing?
No, well, I don't know if it's OCD or I don't know what it was, but what would happen is at night, like at times I've had insomnia where I just don't sleep well and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was a kid, I was going through like a phase of it, and I had this like fucking nightmare like scenario in my mind was me being the only person that was awake in the house. I never wanted that. I never wanted to be the only person that was awake in the house. So what I would do is I would like impulsively, and my parents didn't know this, my sister never knew this. So if my sister's watching, which I doubt, but this would be news to her, I would like impulsively check to see if they're awake. Like I wouldn't like go look at them, but what I would do is I would walk out of my room and I'd see if the TV light was flashing from under their doors. And if it was flashing from under my parents' door and or my sister's door, I'd feel like, okay, I'm still good. But then if it wasn't, I'd be like fucking like nervous as fuck, and I'd be like, fuck. I was a little ass kid. I was like probably 8 years old or whatever.
No, but I think that's a fear of a lot of people. Like I have that where.
But dude, what I'm saying is I would walk out to check like every 10 minutes. Like there were nights I probably did that shit like 100 times.
Really?
I would just keep going out, keep going out, keep going out, keep going out.
And what do you think? You just didn't want to be the only person awake in the house? Like what?
I was just scared for whatever reason, and I was like, I don't want to fucking be like that. And then I would just keep going out and checking. It was just compulsive. Like I just kept walking, kept going. And if I didn't do it, I'd be like, why am I not doing it? I'm gonna go do it right now. What am I doing? Like it was the only thing that made me feel better. Oh, okay, the light's still on.
But then you wouldn't be able to go to sleep from knowing that the light was on.
Well, the idea was I felt safe.
Again.
I felt safe if the light was on. I would feel
you felt safe if the light was on, but then you'd have to go back 10 minutes later and check again if it was still on.
Yeah, I would keep doing that.
That's what I'm saying. Is like, so you never felt safe.
Well, I felt safe, but I was still like anxiety ridden and in the midst of this fucking weird like compulsion. Like I was safe, but I was still going through my compulsion thing where I'm like, I gotta check. And eventually what would happen is I would just like fall asleep in the 10-minute in-between phase type thing. But I would just keep checking. It probably only lasted like a month or something that I did that. Mm-hmm. But it was like, I distinctly remember it. And
something I'm sure if you told that to like a psychologist or something, they'd say something must have happened that month or something that triggered that. Maybe. You know, like.
But my point is,
connection to it.
Like the OCD thing you were talking about. Mm-hmm. Like I know what it feels like to have a compulsion.
Oh yeah.
So I know how fucking real that is. Now I don't know how I got over it, and I don't know how that happened, but it happened. But like I can only imagine people who live not only with something like that, but like way worse versions of that just don't go away.
Yeah.
You know?
It's scary. I mean, I've never had that either. But everybody has a superstition or something that they do, for good luck, whether it's before a show or a game or something, So that in that way, it's a little OCD type of,
Sure. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. I mean, I guess only when it starts to like get in the way of normal functioning is when it's like,
yeah,
you got an issue here.
Like the TV show, I think before she closed the door, she had to like touch the door handle, like whatever, like
a bunch of times.
Amount of times.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like if you can't make it to wherever you're trying to go because you got to touch the door handle 100 freaking times.
Yep.
I know someone who before they leave the house is constantly checking and making sure something's off and this and that, and it becomes a while before someone's like, "Yo, like let's go."
Yeah.
Okay, everything's good.
I'm kind of like a perfectionist with a lot of that kind of stuff too, and I even annoy myself. So like if I don't have the things I need on me, I like have to I gotta go check, I gotta grab them, and then I'll grab them and I'll put them in my pocket, and then like 5 minutes later I'm checking again. Oh, do I have all my stuff type thing? And like I annoy myself with that shit. Mm-hmm. Now imagine that times a million, where I can't leave my house until I fucking touch the doorknob 83 times and do this, and like that's just must be impossible to fucking deal with.
And a lot of that is connected to, I think people think something's going to happen bad to someone else if they don't do their whole routine,
Sometimes,
right?
sure, yeah, sometimes, absolutely.
It's like connected.
Yeah.
I get nervous with, I still a little bit to this day when I'm home alone. It's tough for me to fall asleep just, without anybody else in the house.
That's funny. I'm like the opposite now.
I'm a little bitch
For me,
like when it comes to
if
that.
anybody's around or at that time, I'm like, go away.
Yeah, I can't. How are you with like sleeping if you fall asleep in front of other people? Are you okay with like?
No, I'm not like you are amazing at just falling asleep anywhere. Like
Yeah,
you'll fall asleep anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I've been places with you where you'll fall asleep and I'm like, I can't believe he's sleeping here. That's crazy. For me, I'm the opposite. Me, I feel like I gotta have my spot, like my one spot where I do it. And another thing that I need to sleep, I need a fan on. I can't sleep without a fan. I can't sleep without a fan. The room could be fucking 60 degrees. I need a fan. I gotta have a fan. The air's gotta be moving around me. I gotta feel like the fucking fresh.
Do your eyes ever dry out? Because sometimes when I have a fan, my eyes dry out, and then I'll get like pink eye or some shit.
But I keep the drops next to my bed. And I'll
really?
Dump that shit in my eyes, especially because sometimes. Like sometimes I have my glasses, sometimes I don't have my glasses. When I'm wearing my glasses, it's because my contacts, I've worn them for too long and my eyes dry out and I need to like give them a break. So I'll wear the glasses for a while because I wear the night and day contacts. That's another thing that's different. You can't even close your eyes for like a minute with your contacts in or else your shit will go red. Like your shit will go red immediately. Me, I can sleep with these. I mean, I have the night and day ones that are made for sleeping. Yeah. But still, you probably wouldn't even like sleeping with those because you don't like the way that feels.
Yeah, no. I just got the daily ones, and I take a nap in them, and my eyes hurt.
Yeah, I know. I remember times when that's happened where you're like, my fucking eyes because of that.
It's just a sucky feeling that, like, for the rest of my life, unless
you can
I don't think I'll do that. Wait, I don't know if I'll do that. I spoke to someone. My boy's in like optometry school, and he was just like, they don't know what LASIK's going to be like in the future, and your eyes could be all fucked up.
Well, there's apparently in the UK, they're years and years ahead of us in terms of LASIK. I have a friend who traveled to the UK to get it, and then he came back here because the way they do it is superior, and the way they do it like never fails type shit.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know the details of it. I don't remember all the details of it, but apparently the way we do it here is very outdated, and the way they do it there is way ahead of us. So we traveled there to get it done. For you, I think it'd be a good idea. For me, I don't really
You're okay
care.
with wearing your glasses, though.
I'm okay with wearing my glasses, and I'm okay with wearing my contacts night and day when my eyes are feeling good. But, I'm fine with glasses and stuff. I don't give a shit.
Do you think with our, like, doctors and... Why is it always that other countries are developing new shit and have better...
Because
there's a prescriptions and stuff. Like, I used to watch Cake Boss, and they're like, they sent his mom to Israel because they're discovering some new... technology to help. She was like elderly with Lou Gehrig's disease or something, and then like Kobe Bryant and them go over to Germany because they do like some blood fusion shit. Like, shouldn't we be the country that's doing all these fucking top notch?
Well, because here's what happens in the U.S. The corporations try to have a stranglehold on everything. So if there's some new technology that comes up that's going to beat out some old technology, let's say for cancer screening or something. Well, the corporation that already has the market cornered and makes all the money, they're going to pay the politicians to try to basically block that shit or don't do research and development or slow down that process as much as possible. And one thing they do is with patent laws, they abuse patent laws where patents are like, I'm the only person who can sell this thing for X amount of years before anybody else can make a similar product. And so what'll happen is that stifles, innovation. So you can't get, like, the generic version of a drug will come out, but you have to wait years before it comes out, and they can price gouge the shit out of you for the first 5 years or whatever it is. So, yeah, the way it's geared, the system in the U.S., it's, like, bought and owned by the corporations. And the corporations, if they're not up to date on the newest shit, then, yeah, your other countries are going to go ahead of us in research and development. And they're going to...
And if there is someone in the U.S. trying to discover something, don't they get, like, discredited or shitted on by the big corporations? Like, this guy's...
Look at what's happening with green technology. Like, we already know we can have pretty efficient renewable technology and we don't need to be dependent on fossil fuels. But the fossil fuel companies own the government. So they basically block research and development in all these areas that we need it, and they block investment. So, and the politicians do their bidding because they pay the politicians. So yeah, like, the whole system's corrupt, which is why it's fucked up. That's why the UK is ahead of us with all this eye surgery stuff. The example you were given with elderly care.
And there was that guy who went on. Remember the guy who went on Bill Maher with the blood, whatever? He had like the blood.
That guy, I don't know if he was.
Oh, he was a little iffy.
He might have.
Because he was like, you could take my blood and put it in someone else and show this and that. That I'm good.
I don't know if that guy. Because I read some articles about that guy, and it was like he's a little bit of a scam artist type thing.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Yeah, Bill like sometimes falls for. So Bill understands the point I just made about how corporations own our government, but sometimes he takes that to an extreme, and in his mind, he thinks like, oh, well, therefore anybody who says anything in the alternative medicine field must be right. But no, because there's a lot of people in the alternative medicine field who are scammers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and he doesn't like think that they're scammers ever. He thinks it's only the big corporations. So he's a little off with his science meter.
And he's starting to have a lot of like conservatives and right wingers. Like
he's always had a lot of right wingers, but I never watched the episode, by the way, that you were telling me about where he had the Breitbart guy on or something.
Oh yeah, this past one he had.
Yeah, I didn't watch it yet, but I heard
he made that guy look like a fucking regular person.
Yeah, no, he's losing his touch. I mean, it's ever since the election where he started. I mean, to be fair to him, he voted for Bernie in the primary, and he still thinks Bernie should run, and he said he'd vote for Bernie in a heartbeat again. But yeah, the way he would like fucking over defend Hillary and shit on Bernie supporters after, it's like, ugh.
I mean, people were trying to get at Bernie because the guy who did the shooting was a Bernie supporter.
Yeah, I had to do stories on this.
But that was like stupid, right? I mean, like the guy was.
So the guy was a Bernie supporter. He was. There's no denying that. But Bernie never advocated for violence ever. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's got nothing to do with fucking Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, it's just this is a guy who's violent, and he happened to be a Bernie Sanders fan. And to be fair, I mean, you could. His motive was he was going after Republican politicians. Like, that's who he tried to kill. So you can even call him a terrorist. It's fine to call him a terrorist. But it's fucked up when people try to say, like, oh, Bernie's rhetoric led to this. What do you mean his fucking rhetoric? The guy, literally 2 days before this guy did this attack, Bernie was talking about the importance of community and how we have to look out for each other. Like, he always preaches nonviolence. He's anti-war. He's for nonviolent political protests. So you can't, like, try to say... And of course they did. There were articles written, like, trying to blame his whole movement and, like, his supporters. Like, oh, they need to take a hard look at themselves. Like, no, we fucking don't. We're the ones who've been consistently advocating against war and for peace. And this one asshole, did this attack. And what? Who is there a fucking epidemic of people cheering it? Yay! No, nobody's fucking doing that. Everybody came out against it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fucked up. They're trying to, and the other thing they're trying to do with that is say, like, oh, the tone of the debate in the U.S. is a problem and it's uncivil, and that's going to lead to problems. That's going to lead to more violence because the tone is not good. I don't like that argument, man. I think that's bullshit because just because your tone, even if your tone is like loud and aggressive, that doesn't mean do violence to each other. Like, I'm loud on my show all the time, but I'm 100% against violence, and I make that crystal clear. So I don't like that.
Yeah, but they made that point on Mara. It was just like our tolerance levels are a lot higher now too. So like in the past, where we would see someone on Facebook or someone who's loud and obnoxious, you'd be like, that guy's a little weird. We got to watch out for him. Like, now everybody's like that, so we don't know who the fuck like to call out or who to say something about who might potentially do a shooting or something because everybody's loud and spewing their points and weird shit on Facebook, you know?
The thing is, only some people who actually do violence say beforehand, I am going to do violence. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes there are videos and fucking Twitter posts of people saying, I'm going to go do a mass shooting, and then they go do it. Like, sometimes that happens, but a lot of the time that doesn't happen. And when it doesn't happen, and you have, like you just described, everybody's yelling about politics and shit and screaming at each other, then there's no way of knowing. So what are we supposed to do? Like, I think about it. I yell every day about politics. The chances of me doing any kind of an attack are 0.00000%.
Yeah.
So my point is, it's just not a good indicator of like, oh, that there's violence that's going to happen. Bill Maher yells all the time. Bill O'Reilly yells all the time. You name a political commentator, you name a politician who cares about what the fuck they're talking about, they're going to yell. They're going to get passionate about it.
Yeah.
The idea that like now people are trying to lump that in with, oh, your tone, the way you talk is an issue. Like, no, we're all supposed to sit here and talk like this about politics, or else you might be a mass murderer. No! I get to fucking talk however I want to talk. There's a bright red line when it comes to morality, okay? People who just talk, that's on one side of the line. People who do violence, that's the other side of the fucking line. That's on the other side. But the bright-ass line is like violence, actually doing violence. You could yell as much as you want. It doesn't mean you're going to do violence, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't, you know, people get in screaming fights all the time. Like, they're fucking friends who yell about some disagreement, or fucking family members who yell about some disagreement.
People yell all the time, go to the fucking barbershop, and they're talking about LeBron or Michael Jordan, and it's just yelling. Like, it's just natural.
Yes, of course. Ever been a fan of a... You've gone as a fan in the jersey of your team to a different stadium. Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's fucking screaming and shit. What are you going to do? Yeah, what are you going to do? Oh, that guy's going to be a shooter. No, he's not. What the fuck are you talking about? 99.999% of the time.
He's passionate about what he's passionate about.
Yeah, exactly. So I had Chipotle right before I came on air.
Oh, did you have to shit your brains out afterwards?
That's funny, because I was going to ask, like, what's your take on Chipotle? Do you like it?
I think there's a direct fucking correlation with something... I don't know what it is, and I'm still trying to figure it out, but it's something in the burrito bowl. I think it's the corn and onion concoction mixture shit.
And it makes you shit every time?
All the time.
Okay, I have Chipotle all the time. I've never once had that reaction.
Really?
Never once.
You're good?
I literally haven't taken a shit since the first time I ate Chipotle like 4 years ago. Never shit.
What do you get? What's your exact order?
So back in the day, I used to get a burrito. But now I don't. Since I've been eating healthy, I get the bowls. And so
what do you get in it?
I'll tell you exactly. So I get
go down the line.
Brown rice, chicken, mild salsa.
Is that the green one?
No.
Which one is that?
Mild salsa is just like little. It almost looks like little cut up tomatoes.
Oh, okay. I get the green shit, so maybe that's a difference.
Might be the green shit. Mild salsa, the peppers. I get the peppers on there. I get sour cream. I get guacamole, cheese, and is that it? I think
it has to be, because lettuce is the next stop, and that's the last one.
Yeah, and sometimes I get lettuce, but probably 50% of the time I don't get lettuce.
So it could be the green salsa that
it might be the green sauce that's fucking you up, son. But then again, to be fair to you, like, that is such a common thing that people shit their brains out after they eat Chipotle that it might just be a reaction that some people have. Maybe. Because you ever seen that episode of South Park? They did a fucking South Park episode on it. That's how fucking common that shit is. Chipotle. It's like the Billy Mays guy. Remember the guy who used to do the infomercials? Billy Mays. Yeah. He did Chipotle, where he sprays this thing, and it's specifically for getting out shit stains from Chipotle when you shit yourself. But yeah, no, I had it before I came on air. It was fucking delicious, man.
Banging, right? I love it.
But what happens is they vary, like, how much they give you depends on who's fucking working.
Yep.
So this one I just had was like half of the amount I usually get. And I was
sometimes you got to hit him with a little bit, like, throw another little, like, without charging me extra, throw a little more on there.
Yeah. Yeah, I should have done that. Because I saw at the end of it, I looked at it, I'm like, damn, that's like half of what I usually get.
Yep. And there's certain ways. There was an article that there was certain ways on, like, how to get a bigger burrito. And it's like, if you know you're going to get double meat, you don't tell them. You just say, like, chicken. So they put a hefty scoop in there. And then when they start going to the next lane, you're like, yo, can you double that? And then they put like another, and they're like, this motherfucker. Because that first scoop, if they think you're just getting single, will give you a hefty amount of chicken. But if you tell them double chicken right off the bat, they're going to slay the scoops a little bit, you know?
That is genius. That is fucking genius. Somebody figured out the science to that shit.
There's a video of, like, this guy went around to, I don't know how many different Chipotles, but did his special way each time,
And
And
it
he
worked.
figured out, like, he showed a measurement at the end that, like, his burrito was this much bigger each time than this much or something like that. Like,
Oh.
guy definitely had way too much fucking time on his hands.
Well, I get so much of the shit that's there that, like, whenever I get a burrito, it's always been big. In fact, too big, to the point where I can barely fucking eat it.
Did they ever not been able to wrap it for you, or the thing breaks and then they ask you, like, oh, what do you want me to do? Double wrap this or dump it into a new burrito?
No, it's never broken, but I'm always
Oh.
on the verge when I get a burrito. It's always, like, just hanging on for dear life. It's like, oh, I'm going to break it.
There's it must be cool to work. Like, I would like to work at Chipotle for a week just to see, like, how many different types of ways people order their burritos. Everybody has their certain type of shit. I used to put my hand over the fucking top thing, and then the people would be like, "Sir, you don't have to." Like,
First time I did that too, and they're like, but I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. They're like, it's okay.
It must be like number
So
one
common.
Chipotle rule is like, tell the customer not to put their hand over the shit.
But you know what I noticed today, actually? Like, it's up to a certain point, and then people start talking, and they're talking right over the food. And they're like, if anybody spits like a little bit, that shit is getting in the food.
Well, think about buffets. I mean, I get down on buffets, but the fucking buffets are disgusting.
Yeah, they are.
Like,
But
the
they're
concept
delicious.
of it,
Yeah.
it's usually like a Chinese buffet and some hood ass like Yonkers or something like that, and the people eating there are just like fucking schlubs. And it's just like they're breathing over the food, like
That
they're
shit's
sneezing.
been out there
they're
for 6 hours already.
She's been out there for 6 hours. I went to a Chinese spot and the dude he was pulling peas on the table, picking his nose in the middle of the restaurant. I swear.
Oh.
I didn't give a fuck. Like, I went back up to the table and got more food. I didn't eat the peas,
How much
though.
is it usually at all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet? How much do they hit you with when you walk in the door?
Like, how much is it for the buffet?
Yeah, usually.
I think it's at least like $11.95 through like $13.
Okay, they'll hit you with that. Okay.
But they hit you with like a make sure you don't take enough, like make sure you only take what you can eat, don't spaz.
You know, I don't have Chinese food nearly as much as I used to. Like, and even on my cheat days now, I haven't had Chinese food once yet on my cheat days.
Did you ever go to Chinese buffets though?
I've only been maybe 2 or 3 times in my life to a Chinese buffet.
I think they're very good, but you have to pace yourself. Like, my dad's a professional buffet eater. He knows how to start. Yeah, you got to start with the soup, and then slowly maybe get a salad if you want one. Start with like a quick appetizer plate, and then work your way to some hefty shit, and then work your way to the dessert, and then hit the yogurt machine.
So when you eat, you don't feel like you eat more if you just start scarfing it down?
No, I don't think so. I think you got to have a method to your madness. Like, you can't just go in there and try and beast out one plate, because then you're going to be full. And then your mind is just like, fuck, do I go back to my go-to, like the sesame chicken or like General Chow's? And then it's just
When
like,
you have the decisions, that's the
it's
worst.
tough. It's tough.
One time we went, you, me, and your family went to
Fuji Mountain when I saw you there?
No. We've been there before, but
Oh.
we went to the Chinese spot, and it wasn't a buffet, but it was the Chinese spot. And Gary ordered everything just right. Like he was like, he hit the table with like, I got this. Like, he looked at
does that
everybody,
all
he's
the time,
like,
yeah.
I got this.
Yeah.
And then he just went like, he just killed it on the menu.
You were cool with that? Like,
I loved it because first of all, I was in the point where like I didn't want to have to think and like fucking what do I want? What am I in the mood for? Do I want the sweet and sour chicken? Do I want the spare ribs? Yada yada. He was like, and he hit it with everything was perfect, and then like all the appetizers were just chilling, and it was like a lot of each appetizer, and I had like a little bit of each, and I was just so fucking happy. It was so good.
Yeah, it's nice when someone like, I mean, in that situation was probably chilling, but when someone just takes control of a situation and everything just roll, like, that's why people go to events and shit's just coordinated, and they're just like, from 10 to 11, we're doing this, like, just meet in the lobby.
Yeah.
It's like, bet. Like, when other times when you go somewhere and it's just, you got to decide and be in a group and be like, what do you want to do? Oh, I don't know. We can go to Disney World or go to Universal. It's just like, fuck you.
They've actually done studies on that, and people are happier when they have fewer choices for some things. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, so if you hit them with the simple, like, you want to do this or this. Like, I'm narrowing it down. This or this. They like it. They're happy. But if you give them all the fucking options ever, they're like, how the fuck am I supposed to make this decision?
Yep.
Yeah, and I agree with that. Like, I've noticed that too. Like, you want that. It's nice.
Just look at them fucking, I mean, going back to Chipotle. Look at a Chipotle menu compared to a Cheesecake Factory menu.
Yeah.
It's just so, it's like, I think Chipotle works like, yeah, their food is banging, but people just like going in there because it's just like 4 things on the menu.
Yeah.
It's fucking,
Pick
you want this, or this.
Yeah. It's you know what's even better with that? Five Guys, man. Five Guys.
Oh, they're just so simple, yeah.
So simple. And you know what might even be simpler than that? Fucking Walters.
Yep.
There's a hot dog
if you're
spot
in New
by
York,
us,
go
guys.
to Walters.
Man, I haven't had a Walters hot dog in forever. But look,
That
this
shit
is
is
how good it
bang.
is. I'm not even a hot dog guy. I fucking love that shit.
Yeah.
I love it.
They slice the hot dog open, throw OD butter on the middle of that shit, and just throw it on like some burner that's probably been there since like
1906.
George Jefferson, I was going to say, was walking around.
George Takei was born.
No, but those are always, someone was trying to tell me. So I went to, I was in Virginia at like some hood ass restaurant, and they were making fun of the grill because they were like, "Oh, there's so much. There's the grease has probably been on there since
why that shit is
1960."
good. Yeah.
I was like, "That's why that shit is banging." Like the dirty spots with the old cookers and all that.
Question. I used to get these chicken fingers from this deli that like never ever had chicken fingers on the menu, but they never sold them shits because nobody ordered them. I used to get them every time. They were the best chicken fingers I ever had because they never fucking cleaned the deep fryer since like 1998. And that shit was so good. Oh.
Yeah. But isn't that weird? That would never work for anything. Like, if you had some underwears that you just never washed for like 30 years.
Speak for yourself, bro. I got ones with stains in them that just feel so comfortable when I wear them.
I do have old underwear. Yeah, that underwear is that thing. I just had this conversation with someone. I have old ass. I got a pair of boxers from like this girl's bat mitzvah when I was like 12 years old. The whole ass is open. Like it looks like some assless chaps, but they're my favorite boxers to wear.
And you still have them?
I still have them.
Can they sew them back together? The back?
I don't want them. I don't want them.
Oh, that's funny. No, I'm the same way. Like I have to force myself to start donating shit or throwing shit out. But here's the thing. For the longest time, I didn't. And I with boxers, I'm 100% saying I have boxers that I wore back in fucking 7th grade, son.
Mm-hmm.
7th fucking grade. But I've gotten better recently where I'll put I gotta say, look, I gotta make room here, and so I'll take some shit and put it aside. But specifically with boxers and socks, I'm the worst. I never get rid of boxers, never get rid of socks.
Would you get rid of them if someone just like say, like your mom or something just bought you 24 pairs of boxers and just put them on your bed? Would you throw away your other ones? Is it because you don't want to throw them away, or is it just because
they're still good, they still work, and they're still fine? That's why. I don't I think like why would I throw this out when it's fucking perfectly fine? Like it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Yours is a little bit of a different story. Yours are ripped like a motherfucker.
They're OD rip.
If I have like a little rip in mine, I'll still rock them. But if I get like a full rip, I'll throw it out. Sometimes I've had boxers that ripped, and I had like that comical rip sound that almost sounds like a fart, where it rips like.
Yeah.
Like that happened to me once with the boxers. I'm like bending over to get something, and you just hear the fucking rip. I was by myself, thankfully, but it was pretty funny.
Yeah, I feel like I've even kept boxers that I've like shit my pants in.
Oh, that's rough.
After I've washed them, obviously.
Yeah, I know, but you got to get like a diesel wash situation going there.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, like my mom back in the day, she used to have this shit that she would use that would get like pasta stains out of shirts and stuff. It was like amazing. I was like, how the fuck do you do that? It's like magic.
Yeah.
I think it was called Zout, I think was the name of this shit.
Maybe. My grandma swears by this thing from the dollar store. It's like this yellowish spray thing that she says gets everything out of everything. And I'm like, there's probably like poison in there or something like that.
There's
that's
just AIDS in it. Yeah. It's from the dollar store. It's got AIDS.
It's sort of cool that the dollar store is still around, like, and they sell shit for $1, you know?
Yeah, that is pretty cool. That is really cool.
It's hard to sell things for $1 now, and they sell a lot of shit for $1.
Speaking of things that cost like $1, on my cheat day I had sour Skittles, which were delicious.
The green bag?
Sour Skittles, the multicolored bag. Oh yeah, the green bag. The bag itself was green. Yeah.
Yeah. The ones inside are multicolored.
It's pretty good.
Those are good. I also like the Airhead makes the sour straws, like the rainbow colored ones.
Delicious. delicious.
banging, and then they make a mini versions of them too.
I haven't had the mini ones, but I'm sure that's delicious too.
But going back to this joint, you remember the Airhead, the white flavor, the mystery flavor?
Yeah,
That used to be my favorite color.
it was delicious. It was delicious. I also had on my cheat day Raisinets. Haven't had those in forever.
I can't fuck with you. Had that on your cheat day?
Yeah.
That's like when someone tells you they fucking beat off to the picture of their girlfriend or some shit. Like, yeah, dude, my fucking.
Because you're saying I can have that shit during the week.
To a whole magazine of her.
Because you're saying that's fine during the week. That's what.
Yeah, Raisinets are fucking fine. That's
kind of true because it's chocolate vegetable. And fucking raisin. It's a vegetable. No, but they were fucking delicious, man. I used to have them as a kid.
I'm not thinking of Raisinets are in that purple box shit.
Purple box.
I'm thinking of just raisins in the red box. I'm an idiot.
Raisins. I'm thinking of the chocolate covered raisins.
Yeah, that's in the purple box, right?
No, it's in a yellow box. It's yellow. Raisinets are a yellow box.
Yeah.
I used to have those all the time as a kid at the movies, and I had them for the first time in years, and I was like, these shits are underrated. Like,
are they good?
They're fucking delicious.
Yeah, but raisins in a...
Dude, that's why I'm saying they're underrated, because people think exactly like that. They're like, raisins, fucking raisins. I'm going to have raisins when I'm trying to have candy? Son, maybe I'm weird and I just have a thing for raisins that other people don't, because I like fucking Raisin Bran Crunch, too, like a motherfucker. I think it's delicious. But Raisinets, oh my God, I was like in heaven eating them.
So do you like... I just learned this shit. I was reading the article on... the people that thought chocolate milk came from brown cows, and they were also saying like, raisins are from grapes.
Yeah.
And what was the other one?
Raisins are from grapes.
No, I know. Yeah. And then there was something else too. I can't remember what the fuck it was, but raisins from grape took me back a second. I was just like,
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Chocolate
milk.
milk.
Pickles and cucumbers, right? Pickles is just a cucumbered pickled or some shit.
Yeah, that's what it is, yeah.
I didn't fucking even know there was fucking brown cows. Like, I didn't know.
I knew there were brown cows, and I knew chocolate milk didn't come from them.
But I saw that article, and it was, like, trending, and then, like, someone at my fucking job said something about it, and I was like, is that story that big enough that I should even give a fuck? Like, who gives a fuck?
Somebody texted it to me. Somebody was like, look at this. Yeah, because it's like, wow, look how stupid people are. But the number was kind of low, I think, right? Wasn't it like 10%?
It was like 7%, some shit like that. I just looked at it. But they said it was like 17.4 million people if you do the percentage and shit.
It's funny that they're using that example, like...
That's what I'm saying. Like,
because there's so many other shit that people believe that's way worse than that is a much higher number.
Exactly. That's why I was like what? Get the fuck out of here with chocolate milk and brown cow. Like, I didn't care.
Yeah.
Like,
do you fuck with chocolate milk or no? You like chocolate milk?
Never got
like mildly lactose intolerant. Like, I
really?
can't have a lot of milk. I could have a little bit, not a lot.
I could have a lot of milk. Yeah. What happens when you have a lot of milk, or you just don't like
ass, son?
Oh, really?
Hell yeah.
So do you try to avoid milk, or you still have cereal?
I can have skim milk. I'm fine with skim milk.
Oh, really?
Skim milk I'm fine with. 1% I'm fine with. I got 2% milk, which I was like, this will be fine. It's
so
like
is it just because there's like less milk in it? Like,
I don't know.
I don't even know what the fuck 2% milk is. Like, is that less?
I was
gonna
say
cow?
I don't know what the difference. Like, well, I know the difference between 1% and 2% milk. The difference is 1%, but but I don't know like what the difference is, how they make it. And then somebody was like, "Hey, dipshit, why don't you just buy Lactaid, which is just milk without the lactose?" I was like, "Oh, maybe I should do just that."
Yeah, but it probably doesn't taste as good.
He said, "No, it's fine. It tastes just like it." I was like, "All right, maybe next time I go to the store, I'll get that." But yeah, like skim milk, I'm fine with, but I can't have a lot of milk.
It's weird. Yeah, I can't taste the. I wish someone please tell us what the difference between milks are, because
you know damn well you're not going to go through the comment section to read like, oh, jizz in my ass. 019 says 1% is pasteurized this way.
It tastes the same. Like whole milk tastes the same as 2% milk to me.
Oh, it might. That might be the problem. Why it was on the borderline for me in terms of.
But I don't know how they dilute shit. Like with orange juice, the regular orange juice is banging. I like orange juice.
No pulp.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't get any pulp.
Fuck with pulp.
No.
Yeah.
Some people love that shit. My dad likes a lot of pulp. I don't know. He likes pulp.
That's un-American.
I know. Oh, some people would say it's more American. I feel like crazy Trump supporter rednecks would like pulp in their
Yeah,
shit
put
just
pulp.
because.
I want maybe a little bit of juice with my pulp. I want my
Exactly.
pulp juice.
Yeah, pulp is probably more American, I would say. Just like
No, hell no. No pulp.
You don't
is
think so?
American. Fuck no. I did a poll on this on my fucking Twitter, and it was like over 60%, I think, that said no pulp is better.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh
and
no,
I also
definitely
did-
no pulp is better.
And I also did a thing for crunchy peanut butter versus creamy peanut butter. Creamy peanut butter blew that shit out the water.
Good.
Yeah, I was like, you guys are objectively correct. Thank you, my audience, for being right.
I had a dumbass statement I think it was this past week. I was eating crunchy peanut butter and that shit was mad crunchy. And I was like, what is this crunchy shit in my peanut butter? And the kid I was with was like,
It's
yeah,
peanuts.
I think it's peanuts. I was like, yo, forget I said that shit. I thought it was like celery or some shit. He's like, yo, just
Yo, that's fucking
stop
hilarious.
talking. Yeah, I felt like a dick.
Oh, that's so funny.
I haven't had crunchy peanut butter in mad long. Like,
No,
I don't
it's not. It's
fuck
like,
with
look,
crunchy peanut butter.
I look at crunchy peanut butter the same way I look at orange juice with pulp, which is like if my choice is having nothing or having crunchy peanut butter, I'm having crunchy peanut butter. If my
Yeah.
choice is having nothing or having orange juice with pulp, I'm having the pulp. But it's preferable to have the creamy peanut butter and the no pulp orange juice.
I would almost have water over orange juice with pulp. I don't
I
like
disagree with
pulp
that.
at all.
I disagree with that.
But it's weird because I just started doing on my sandwiches. I put chips on my
Well, that's
sandwiches,
genius.
and that shit is banging.
Let me tell you, man, I had veggie chips the other week because I've been eating healthy. So I was like, I went to the store and I got a fresh guacamole because I got my new thing is I just got to have guacamole all the time because it's fucking
Yeah,
delicious
banging.
and it's not
Yep.
bad for you.
Yep.
So I got guacamole and I'm like, I got to have this with something, but I'm on my shit, so I got to get something good.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw the veggie chips. I'm like, these are probably disgusting, but I'm going to buy them. They were delicious. They were delicious.
I give you props for trying that shit because you could have fucked up your whole guac experience if that
I
shit
could
was
have,
bad.
but let me tell you, it's so good that I think you would love it too. Like you would be like, "Damn, this shit is not what I expected."
I
Because
think
you know
I've
what
tried
though?
them
It's
before.
probably not even that healthy. That's the thing. Like
That's
they
true.
find a way to turn they put like a little bit of vegetables in there and just make a chip.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this is just a chip, but we're gonna make you think it's healthy type thing, you know?
Yeah.
But
That's like fucking chicken and broccoli from a Chinese store. Like
Yeah, that shit is
that
not-
shit trounced in brown sauce and soy sauce, and
totally.
that broccoli is not healthy for you
Yeah,
anymore.
you're not eating healthy unless you get it steamed and get like the sauce on the side and you put like a little bit on the. That's the only way it'll be healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I used to have I don't eat this shit anymore. I'm such a non-healthy eater right now. Even thinking about it, I'm just like I don't even ever want to have it. I would have cauliflower, but I would put melted cheese on it, and it made it banging. You ever do that?
It's delicious. I've done that a few times, but the thing that I did that your brother suggested to me, which it was a genius idea. He's like, look, when you want to have like something desserty, but you can't eat like a lot because you're dieting, take a spoonful of peanut butter and put a little bit of low-fat whipped cream on top.
Yup.
Boom. And I would do that.
Banging.
Amazing.
Yep.
Fucking amazing.
I would do that. You still do that?
I haven't. I don't have the whipped cream right now. But sometimes I'll just take like a spoon of peanut butter. But I
Best
should get the
peanut
whipped
butter
cream.
to buy? Reese's makes a peanut butter creamy.
Yeah, but are the nutrition facts on that good or no?
Yeah, I think it's the same as all other peanut butter.
Okay.
It's the best kind I've ever had.
I'm sure it tastes like a fucking Reese's. I'm sure.
Yeah. But it's peanut butter and it's creamy and and I do that with the spoonful and the whipped cream, and I gotta like stop myself because I just keep going in and you're
Yeah,
supposed to only
I
have
too. I got to stop myself too. I got at the store they usually have this healthy green juice that I get, this V8 healthy greens, which
Mm-hmm.
doesn't taste good, but it's not horrible. Like I'm okay with it. I could get it down no problem. But they were out of it, and so I ended up getting the original V8 vegetable juice.
Ugh,
It is so bad. It's so bad. It's way worse
shit's
than
like poison.
you would think. The healthy greens juice would be worse tasting than the original
true.
vegetable juice, but the original vegetable juice was just. It tastes like I was drinking like tomato sauce, like pasta sauce,
Oh,
with like a little hint of celery and feet in it.
Oh.
Like that's what it was.
Isn't it like thick too?
No,
like,
I got the one that
thick?
wasn't thick. I got like a slightly. I guess it wasn't the original. It was one that came in like a bottle, and it was like a little different, but it wasn't. I couldn't do it. So anyway, I was able to find. I was like, I gotta find my green juice. So I went on Amazon and I was able to find it. And I was like, I'm just gonna
they
order
had it
on Amazon, and I'm gonna throw out. I had to get rid of the vegetable juice from V8. It was that bad, man. It was so.
Are
bad.
you getting to a point where you would fuck with Whole Foods or no? Like
no,
to shop?
No, because I could just get the healthy shit at the regular grocery store, and Whole Foods is mad expensive.
Yeah.
I have one grocery store near me that's super expensive,
Mm-hmm.
and I went there a few times, and then I went to the other grocery store that's not as expensive. It was just so much better priced. I was like, I don't know why anybody goes to that expensive fucking place.
And especially with the Whole Foods, we spoke about this before. Like they'll sell weird shit that's just water with like celery in it, just for $20.
Called a purifying fucking Himalayan mountain water and charge you $25 for that shit.
Himalayan water.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. You heard Amazon bought
Yeah, that's what made me think
Foods?
of.
The Whole Foods thing. Yeah, I do have a Whole Foods close to me, but I don't go to Whole Foods.
What?
There's enough healthy shit at the regular grocery store. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of healthy shit there.
Yeah.
At the grocery store that I go to, you can find anything you fucking want.
Yeah, and all grocery stores are the same. Like, even fancy-ass restaurants and shit like that, like, their kitchens are fucking dirty as hell. They're just charging you $300 a plate because...
No, that's true. I think that's true. There are people who would disagree with us on that, but I don't. I think you're right. I think that it's mostly the same shit. Like, yeah, maybe...
If their kitchen's not dirty, their chef is still fucking touching your food, like touching his dick and then touching your food. Like, people are people.
Yeah.
And a chef at Fridays is going to be the same as a chef at, like, a 5-star fucking restaurant. They're all chefs. They're all people. Yeah. They all jerk off. They all fucking touch their asses.
I'm trying to remember, like, I think you're mostly right, but there were some times where I had like an expensive meal where that shit tasted like it was more expensive. But they probably just have these like tricks that they do. Like they'll just add like triple the amount of butter and you'll be like, this is delicious. And you don't know that they just added triple the amount of butter.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know. I never fell for that whole...
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I never fell for that whole fancy restaurant. I mean, sometimes it's nice
mostly
to treat
bullshit.
yourself.
It's mostly the snob effect. Yeah. But there's like... There's some, like, cows sometimes, they'll feed them a certain thing for a certain amount of time, and then you get a different quality meat, and, like, that shit is real, but very few places are really doing all that, and, like, controlling the whole supply chain and getting the best quality shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, they have those farm-to-table restaurants now where it's, like, straight from the farm to your table.
Do you watch Anthony Bourdain? I don't know if I've ever asked you that.
No, I think we've spoken about him before, but what does he go around to weird, funky restaurants, right?
No, he travels all around the world and like goes to all the different countries and looks at their like political system and visits people who live there. But then he'll also eat the cuisine at the different places. But like, what I noticed about that show is I'm not an adventurous eater. I'm a safe eater. I like to eat the same fucking things, and I'm very simple. But when you watch his show, like I actually catch myself all of a sudden becoming an adventurous eater where I'm like, maybe I'll try that. Like, he'll eat the grossest shit you can think of, but they make it look delicious. Where you go, I want to try that shit.
Because it's on a fucking popular TV show on, like, a fucking cable network. So, of course, they're going to put lighting and camera and make it look fucking banging.
Yeah, but 90% of the time, if it was some other show, I'd be like, I don't give a fuck. Get that shit out of my face. But, I don't know. I've grown to really like the show over time. I feel like...
But I think I've said this before. I heard him say somewhere that, like, out of all the places he's eaten, everywhere he's been...
McDonald's is the best.
No, it was like Waffle House was his most favorite meal or something. And I was like, dude, I could have fucking told you that. Like, stop traveling, like, stop going to all these funky spots and just go to, like, a chicken spot in the Bronx and you'll be fine.
Remember the chicken and rice spot in the city? You ever had that shit?
No, but I've heard everybody talk about the chicken and rice.
Oh, it's so good.
Was it a spot or was it like a truck? Because I know they have like
it's a truck. It's a truck. It's like a cart.
I never went. Yeah, but
like
everybody's been there.
So fucking good, man.
Banging.
Oh, so good. It's just like it's mad simple. Chicken, rice. Then they hit you with like the sauce that they have. They have this like white sauce. They're like,
oh, it's that like tzatziki joint, right?
The what joint?
Like tzatziki sauce, the Greek sauce.
I don't know what it's called. No, I don't. It wasn't green. It was like white.
No, like the Greek sauce.
Oh, Greek sauce. It might be Greek. I don't know, but I think
Maybe.
it was like an Arab. It was like
Yeah,
Arabic.
they had their specialty sauce.
But
Yeah,
they
yeah.
put and they're like, "How much you want?" I'm like, "Keep going, son." They drenched my shit in sauce, and then it was so fucking good. I've only had it like maybe 3 times in my life, but like it's so good that it might even be worth just like taking a trip to fucking have that shit.
Yeah, I remember always all of our friends would be like, it would be late at night, like 3 a.m.
Yeah, they would
drive to the
OD
chicken
though.
rice
Yeah,
spot.
they would
It
go
would
at
be
like 2.
Jimmy would like always want to go down to that spot.
Like 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, yo, we're gonna go to the chicken and rice. Like, damn. All right, let's go.
Yeah, there was a spot in Dominican Republic, in the capital, Santo Domingo. It was the fucking This truck definitely couldn't drive anymore, but the truck was so fucking disgusting. But it just said like D Willie's Burgers on it. That shit was banging.
Willie's. It was delicious.
It was delicious. It was just like shitty ass truck, and there was like napkins all around the truck and all this shit. But that's the shit that I fucking love. I love just like a greasy, nasty burger.
Yeah, you can't really beat that.
And I feel like that's like on some hood shit where it gets your palate stronger. When then you have some really good thing, and you're like, your taste buds are almost like could pick shit up a little better because you built up all that immune from the grimy, nasty spots like Hubba's. And you remember Hubba's?
Hell yeah, I live close to Hubba's.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Hubba's, there used to be cockroaches on the counter. I didn't give a fuck because their chili cheese dogs were banging.
Cockroaches? I don't want that.
No, but they wouldn't be. Hopefully, they wouldn't be in my food. And they would fill up. They had the Hubba water, and they'd
That shit
fill
was
up.
just water with like a sprinkle of high C in that bitch.
Yep.
That's
They would
it.
fill up the bucket in the mop bucket area, and then just dump it into that machine that like the water like circulates off the sides, you know.
Yeah, this shit sounds gross, son.
But their food was banging.
Yeah, sometimes the nastiest places have it, man.
Yep.
They have
I think
it
it's
going on.
possible to like build up a food like immune in your mouth.
Or we're just used to having that kind of food, so that's what we like. You know what I mean? Like we've always had that kind of shit. So like when you try to hit us with some new shit, like here's some whatever from Malaysia that is fine cuisine, we're like, go fuck yourself, and where's my burger?
Yeah.
That's what Trump. That's what Trump is. Trump was. Everybody was hating on Trump because Trump, when he, like, one of the first things he got, or he was at like dinner with a bunch of ambassadors or whatever. Or
Yeah.
Maybe it was that dinner with Mitt Romney that he did when he was like teasing him about becoming Secretary of State. He ordered like a well done steak with ketchup, and it's like, dude, that's like a fucking toddler's order. Like that's what a kid gets. Like, I want a steak, but make it well done and give me ketchup on the side. But like, so everybody was hating on him, and I probably was too. But like, I'm the same. Like, if you put me somewhere like overseas, and my choice is like the local fucking whatever it is the cuisine is, or hey, there's a McDonald's on the corner, I'd be like, I'll see you all later. I'm going to the McDonald's.
Yep, I'm the same. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not an adventurous eater. You know what I got in the mail today that I was like offended by? I got some shit for school, for like a college or something.
What?
It was like I don't know if it was like a
It's like
community.
apply?
Yeah, it was one of those things. It's like, what makes you think, like, what is it that how did I get on your fucking list to get this shit sent? Because I don't know, man. I told you about my recurring nightmare of being back in school. I've told you those stories, right?
Yeah,
I think we've discussed those on the podcast. Where like sometimes I'll be like semi-conscious in the dream, semi-aware. I'm like, wait. But I know I graduated. And then I'll rationalize it like, oh yeah, you graduated, but you have one more year. Like I'll play some mind tricks on myself in that shit. But like, I don't know. I have this. It's like a fear of mine, like being back in school. And when I saw that shit in the mail, I was like offended. I'm like, fuck you, get me off your list. Don't give me like mild PTSD here. Looking at,
They probably just have some generic ass list where it's just like, send this. I don't know why they would have that actually, because I mean, like, you fucking graduated.
somehow I got on that list. I don't know how.
I sort of get offended too when someone's like, "Would you ever go back to graduate school?" And I'm just like, I don't ever want to ever touch another like textbook or see a teacher or
don't even
study.
tell me about a fucking like class to remove points from my license or
Yeah.
Don't even mention it. Like, oh, well, the ticket will be this much, but if you take this class, then it'll be reduced by. I'll fucking pay it. I'll pay it. I'm not going to fucking class. I'm not going to class. I'm not going back into a class.
At what point do
it's
you
something
think
in me, the dynamic.
Okay.
My fault. The dynamic of having like a teacher at the front of the class. It's that fucking rebel thing where I'm just like, oh, fuck you.
Yeah, where they're like in power, and
Yeah.
it's like, I know more about this than you do.
Well, in the case of the driving, I wouldn't. But yeah, generally speaking, yeah. What were you going to say when I cut you off? My bad.
At what point do you think Iona would ever reach out to you to like go back and like speak to one of their classes or some shit?
It's
Like,
so-
would you do that?
Yes, I would. It's funny you brought that up because one of my professors, who I think was the head of the department too, the political science department, was on Fox News the other day, and I covered a segment that she was in. Eric Bowling, who's a fucking dumbass right-wing idiot, was
Is that the lady from Iona, or?
No, that's the guy's name who was the host, Eric
Oh.
Bowling. Yeah, her name is Jeannie Zaino. Zaino, whatever the fuck.
Is she conservative, or is
No,
she just
she's
like,
liberal. She's
Oh,
certainly liberal by Fox News standards. I don't know where she would be in regards to me versus her. I really don't remember enough about that. But I think she described me one time as pretty moderate. So that shows that she's maybe in the same ballpark as me or whatever, or maybe even to the left of me. I don't know. But she was on the show, and Eric Bowling was arguing for doing a war with North Korea. And she was like pressing back on him a little bit. So that was good to see. But yeah, she's been on Fox a few times. One time she was on Bill O'Reilly's show. I guess they have her on as a contributor from time to time. But yeah, if they
so she
were
probably knows about your show.
I don't know. I don't know if they do, because if they knew, they would know by now. Like, we're big enough and we're doing enough shit where they would know by now. But that's the thing is, New Rochelle High School, nobody said anything about me going on their fucking Hall of Fame shit. When apart from Ray Rice, I'm the most famous motherfucker to come out of New Rochelle High School.
Besides the Heimlich dude, you remember him?
Who?
The guy who started the Heimlich maneuver.
I'm more famous than that dude. I'm just kidding. How many lives did that guy save?
Yeah, that's true. But supposedly they don't call it the Heimlich maneuver anymore, because I heard somewhere that people were suing the Heimlich family because if they weren't successfully
Shit.
like
That's
getting
bullshit.
them from choking,
That's
they
crazy.
would sue the Heimlich family because their name was attached to it.
But yeah, Iona, I don't know if they would. I don't know if they have a wall of fame or anything, but I don't know if they'd put me on it. They're a private college, by the way, and they're technically a Catholic college, which I know is hilariously ironic because I'm non-religious. But they only had like 2 religion classes that were required, and none of them were like, they were all like world history religion type classes. It wasn't like, we're going to teach you religion.
But did like a priest teach the class?
No, I never had any priests who were teachers.
Oh, really?
So yeah, it's a very secular, Catholic college or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they would put me on any wall of fame or whatever because of my political leanings. I would imagine
Rochelle should. I feel like how would that process work? Like the principal would have to know about like.
I have no idea.
Because I'm trying to think, guys. I used to look at that wall a lot.
Fucking, executives on the wall who nobody knows who the fuck they are, and you're not.
Do you remember any of the people that were on that wall?
No, that's the point. I don't know any of them. Nobody does.
And they had a lot of people too.
It would be funny though if you look at it's like executive, random douchebag, YouTuber. People be like, "Oh, damn, I could leave here and become a YouTuber." They probably don't want people thinking that. They don't want kids thinking that. Like,
they should. Times are definitely changing where I think you'll eventually be there, which is pretty fucking crazy to think, Well,
yeah, there's still a little bit of it feels like YouTube, even though we're more popular than TV at this point, it feels in like mainstream society, there's still kind of a bias against it. Like it almost feels still like a countercultural thing, like for younger people, like old people watching TV. I watch YouTube. I go on the internet. You know what I mean? Like it's got this counterculture thing to it. But I have to say, it's getting to the point where I feel like that might be changing, and you're right. YouTube might be becoming a little more mainstream, where now like everybody knows about it, even if they don't watch it, they know it. And you know, it used to be the thing if somebody doesn't know who I am, like if I'm playing golf with somebody, they don't know who I am or whatever, and they say, "What do you do?" If you were to talk to me 2 years ago, I would be like hesitant to be like, I'm a YouTuber. You know, I'd be like, I don't know if I should say it. But now if somebody asks me, I go, I'm a YouTuber. Like, and I don't hesitate. It's not like,
how do you get pushback from people? Like, what do they say?
Most of the time they're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm a YouTuber. And then
but it's usually an older person, right? A younger person would know what the fuck it is.
Well, yes and no. I mean, it depends. Like on a golf course, it's not like my kind of audience. They wouldn't find them on a golf course. What percentage of my audience likes golf? Maybe 1%. You know.
Yeah.
So but it's mostly older people who would ask, like an older dude who's like, "Oh, what do you do?" And then most of the time they're interested, and they're like, "How did it come about? Like what do you do? Like how do you?" Because they don't know. When you say YouTuber, they probably immediately think like
just like make pornos or some shit.
They think I'm blowing dudes and so I have to. I'll explain for them and stuff. So, but yeah, back in the day, you were more hesitant to say it because there was almost this like look down, like, oh, that's what you are. But now people are more like, oh, what, really? And there's more of a like wow factor to it.
Yeah.
Will there ever come a point where it's viewed on like TV? Used to be viewed. If somebody were to say, "Oh, that person's on TV," it would be an immediate like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, because like
TV.
Radio used to be the shit, right? I mean, it was like.
Will there ever be a point where it's like that with YouTube?
I think 100%. Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, I think it's like TV's getting phased out just because like no one wants to watch commercials anymore.
And it's also our generation is gonna become. We will be all of the adults soon. You know what I mean? Like the older generation dies off slowly, and as the younger generation comes up, that whole generation, all they know is YouTube and the internet being like the primary form of entertainment and everything. Like I think of my niece and nephew, and like they know how to work an iPad better than I do, and they know how to do they know YouTube like. I mean, they obviously have like the child safety shit on because they're too young at this point.
Yeah.
But like they know how to navigate it, and that's where they get all their stuff from.
But you can even watch YouTube on like TV, right? Like you can go to Netflix or go to YouTube. Like you showed me, I think you could find YouTube on your TV now. Yeah,
me for my cable provider, it comes with a YouTube channel where you go to the channel and then you're just on YouTube, which is cool. Not everyone has that, but people have it through smart TVs. You can go on a smart TV, you go to a YouTube app or whatever. And you could watch YouTube that way. So I'd be surprised. Actually, you know what? I happen to know that most of my viewers watch through a mobile device. So they're watching on a smartphone.
Yeah.
Most of my
viewers
do that.
That's how I listen to the show when I listen to it
at
work. Yeah.
There you go. So that's because everybody's at work. Oh, okay, Kyle posted a video on something I want to see, and then they listen to it. So it really is just like a new fucking thing going on here, even to the point where even me being a part of it, it's hard to wrap your mind around it because I'm still, I was raised on the same thing you were raised on where we were primarily TV is the shit that you watch, and then internet's like a side thing, kind of a little different. You go on it for like instant messenger but like over time that's changed more. And now, I still watch a decent amount of TV, but I also 100% am watching YouTube like crazy. 100%.
I still haven't like really spun over to the YouTube shit. Like I'm still stuck on just watching TV. Like I watch like those short videos that are on my Twitter feed real quick, but like I'm still not at that point to pull up my laptop and watch like
Rogan,
a Netflix show. Yeah. Well, I listen to him. I have it on my podcast.
Oh, you listen through iTunes?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because he
records his shit too, right?
He does. So whenever I watch his, I watch it on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and on YouTube, he says I don't know if it's his second or third most. Where he gets his second or third most like hits, but most of his hits are on iTunes. Most people listen on iTunes, and they probably do the same as you. Like they're at work and they can have it in the headphones and then just do whatever. Yeah,
that's usually what I do. But everybody's watching on fucking laptops and shit, man. I don't do that shit. There's just TV shows. There's TV shows on Netflix.
Do you like pads like iPads or no?
No,
I don't fuck with pads.
No,
my mom loves pads.
Yeah, so does.
That sounds funny sentence. My
I
mom
know
loves
the pads.
No, she loves them, and I feel like most people are kind of. I'm still a laptop loyalist, son. Like I still love laptops.
I rarely even use my laptop, to be honest. I rarely use a computer. Like at work, I
So
use
you're
my
all
computer,
your
obviously.
phone, but you have the Plus, right? You have the iPhone Plus.
Yeah, the bigger joint. Yeah.
That's probably why, because you have a fucking mini pad. That's what that is. That's a mini iPad,
true.
basically.
You didn't get the Plus, right?
No, I got the regular one. But you have to remember, I was going from an iPhone 4. I had an iPhone 4, which was the smallest fucking one they made.
Yeah.
So when I upgraded from the 4 to the 7, the normal 7 was almost double the size of the 4.
Yeah.
So if I went from a 4 to a 7 Plus, that
would have been a huge fucking jump. Yeah.
So yeah, but
would you get a Plus now?
Yeah, I might get a Plus. Yeah.
Really?
Well, yeah, because of it is. I like the only downside of it is you have to type shit with two hands. Like you have to use two hands. I could still do one hand on my 7.
Yeah.
That's the only downside is the two hands, but there's extra features on the Plus, and yeah, you basically have a mini pad with you. So like if you're away or something, you don't even need to have a laptop with you. You could just do everything on the fucking phone.
Yeah.
Which is big. That's big. And for people who travel a lot, I mean, I don't travel a lot, but for people who travel a lot, that's huge. You have your own fucking little pad/computer thing there, as opposed doesn't feel like a phone. For the iPhone 7, even though it does so many things, it still feels like a phone. You know what I mean? So that's probably one of the reasons why, you could do everything on it.
I heard the new iPhone comes out in, I think, September, someone was saying, or some shit like that.
Did they do some new weird shit?
They probably just fucking, changed the battery. So, they just changed some stupid shit. So you have to buy all new features and fucking... I know on the last one they changed the headphones, so you can't plug in headphones anymore. You got the wireless joints.
Well, you could still plug in headphones, but you got to do it in a different way. I forget.
Can you still? Are you sure? I don't think you
100%.
could plug in on the new joint. I don't think you could plug in headphones. I don't think there's any.
No, there's a way to do it, but I forget how. You just got to plug it in the charger port thingy.
Oh, really?
There's something.
Oh, that would make sense because there is probably a charger spot. So if there's a cord to change the charger.
Yeah, I think I did it once, or maybe I'm just bugging.
We went through so many different phases. They used to have this thing called the iTrip that you would plug onto your iPod that would connect to the radio, like before Bluetooth came out.
I remember you using that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
There's so many different compatible shit. Some dude pulled out the old, I think he had an iPod mini.
Yeah.
On a plane. It was like some old guy, and I was just like, damn, that dude I was just like, he looks old as fuck holding that thing. And that thing is still playing music in some computer-esque type little miniature thing.
Yeah, the fact that always blows my mind is that in a regular ass smartphone today, you have more technology than the computer that got people to the moon.
Yeah.
And that shit was that took up a whole room, that computer that got people to a moon. It was like a whole room. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
The fact that we went through all those that we can appreciate. I mean, our age, we're not that old. We're 20. I'm 28. We could appreciate a time where there were no cell phones, no computers, and kids now just will never understand that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, no, I don't. I'm trying to remember how old I was when we got our first computer. I think I was pretty young. So, I remember from a very, very young age going on the computer.
Yeah, but you couldn't do... What the fuck could you do? Play, Sims?
Went into, Nickelodeon chat rooms or some shit.
Oh, yeah, when they had AOL? Well, that must have been, 99 or 2000?
So, I was
we're probably, 12 or
88,
13 or some shit.
And then, yeah, maybe I was, Yeah, I feel like maybe I was 11 or 12 or some shit. And
still
Yeah, so you're saying we were kids?
Yeah.
I guess.
No, but we were still old enough
do?
to do stuff without it.
So I was thinking, what did I do as a kid? So
on the computer or before?
No, before a computer. I played soccer a lot.
Yeah, I think there was still Nintendo,
Played a lot of soccer. Did play Nintendo.
and they had Sega was popular.
I never had Sega, but my
I
friend had
didn't have
Sega.
Sega. Yeah,
My
yeah,
friend
yeah.
Mike, who was your friend, also had Sega.
Yep.
That was
Yeah.
when me and him were besties, and we would play Sega together at his place.
They had Sonic. Sonic was like fucking Sega's baby.
Sonic was the shit. Yeah.
And then Nintendo had like Donkey Kong was its shit.
You know what I used to do? I used to watch VHS tapes as a kid, and one of them was what the fuck is that movie? Karate Kid. I used to watch.
Oh yeah, they had They used to
Teenage
have these
Mutant Ninja
blooper.
Turtles.
They had like sports blooper tapes. I used to watch
Me
on
too. I
VHS.
used to watch those too. See, that was like our fucking YouTube back in the day. Like, just put a
just
VHS
VHSs,
tape in.
right?
We were
Yeah.
like, whatever, 8 years old, 7 years old and shit.
Yeah, man. I used to
But
watch
from a
Mr.
very young age, I was
Baseball.
on the computer. From like age 11 and on, I was on the computer.
You ever play Roller Coaster Tycoon?
It sounds familiar, but I don't recall it.
You would it was like you would create a theme park and
No, I
like put
never
roller
played
coasters
that.
and
I
shit.
never played that. That sounds
But did
pretty awesome.
It was dope. Did you
I
play
play-
Sims?
I didn't play Sims, but I know about Sims. I played Oregon Trail.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's old school, old school. Like Sims was like a little after, like when they had color and shit.
There was a game I played too that was like a Western game where you would be. It was like a first-person shooter game, but it was like an old Western thing. And I remember maybe when I was like 22 or 23, I was like, let me fucking try this game again. So I put it in my old laptop in like the CD-ROM player or whatever, and I put it in. The graphics were so bad. I
Really?
couldn't believe it. It was like the most ridiculous fucking... Like, you'd walk into a room, and it would be a totally empty room, and there'd be like one guy standing at the other end of the fucking thing.
You have
And
to
it's
like shoot him?
Yeah. And then you'd walk out and walk around, and it would just be all one person standing there all the time. It was fun. I was like, I can't believe... When I was a kid, I thought like, oh my God,
It was
this
the
is
best
so
shit ever, right?
cool. But
Yeah.
then when you're older and you look at it, you're like, oh, I can't believe I played this. Oregon Trail, it was like a little thing would pop up, like, you have dysentery and died. It's like, oh, this is so fun.
We used to think that was the shit, that game.
Yeah,
Because they had it on the computers at school, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you ever play the game Doom on the computer?
I never played Doom, no. I never played
Doom is like, if you did some research on it or like a segment or looked it up, it was like I think it was like World War II, like Germany. Like you would go into like some castles and the
Really?
game from the computer had like huge swastikas on the wall. Oh, there's a bug.
In
Yeah, it
Doom?
was in Doom.
What?
Yes.
That's
Look it up.
crazy.
Like go on YouTube when you're done and look up Doom. There was like Nazi signs. It was definitely taking place in like Germany, World War II.
Damn, I see. That's crazy because I remember like when Nazi Zombies came out. I was like, damn, really? They're putting
That was like semi recently,
that
right?
was semi recently, yeah.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
2010 or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
But like we were like, damn, really? Like they're putting Nazis in a video game? But yeah, if they put it back in the day in Doom, that's wild.
My dad is watching this TV show that I don't know if you would like be into this. I don't know. I forgot. I don't know what. Maybe it's on Netflix, but it's who was World War II? That was Germany and Japan.
If they won the war, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
on
like,
my list of shows. I think it's called The Man in the High Castle or something like that.
My dad swears by it.
No,
like,
I saw, first of all, if you go on YouTube and you watch the trailer for that, you'll immediately want to watch it because it just looks banging.
Yeah.
It's what if Germany and Japan won the war? And like
Yeah.
the U.S. is fucking now like a colony of theirs. And
like
they,
Japan has the West
occupy it.
Coast or something, and
Right,
Germany
yeah.
has like the East
That's
Coast.
right, yeah.
And there's like this guy has Hitler on his wall as like an old man, and he's still doing like videos here and there. Like,
Yep. I'm going to watch that. It's on my list. I'm trying to figure out. I finished Prison Break a little while ago, and I wanted to take like a break from watching shows because I feel like I get like overwhelmed because I get so busy with work and I don't have enough time to watch enough episodes of whatever show I'm binge watching. And then I feel like, I wish I didn't even start this because then I feel obligated to watch it in my free time, and sometimes I don't want to watch it in my free time. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I finished Prison Break a while ago, and I wanted to take a little break, but it's been a little bit of time now. I should probably hop on my list because I got a lot of shit left on my list that I still want to see, including that one, The Man in the High Castle.
Wait, so you said you have watched Breaking Bad, right? You caught
I
up?
did,
You
yeah.
got
Breaking
that?
Bad I finished a
Okay.
while ago. It was
What do you
great.
think of Better Call Saul?
It's great. I love
Yeah,
Better Call
okay.
Saul. Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah,
So
sometimes
you're all caught up except for the last episode?
Yeah, which I might actually watch as soon as we're done here.
Yeah, I just watched it.
So, I think. Oh, you don't watch Fear the Walking Dead, I don't think, right?
I gave up on that shit. Fuck them.
By the way, the Fear the Walking Dead I think is better now than The Walking Dead. By the way, but
I'm fuck both of those shows, but I'm still invested in The Walking Dead. But Fear of the
that
Dead, I
sucks.
see the commercials
You're
and I'm just like,
invested
I
in
don't
the
give a
worst
fuck.
one now.
I know.
Because the other one just got super hot. It was a great episode, the one I just saw.
But it's still the prelude to The Walking Dead, right? Like, so people still don't have virus. Like, some people don't have viruses
you know what
yet.
it is, man? That was just a gimmick because what it really is The Walking Dead all over again with a different set of people, basically, is what it is.
So there's zombies and shit?
There's zombies, but you know what? There are more people alive, though. So there's more people than in The Walking Dead.
But it's not like...
It's not
the
all
show's
before
not connected
the virus.
to The Walking Dead. Like, Rick and them aren't going to come up in a couple episodes.
No. I don't think so. So. It's just totally separate cast, but the same kind of plot going on. But yeah, the last episode I saw of Better Call Saul, which was not the one that just played, but the week before, that was a good ending to that episode that made me want to watch more. When she got into the car accident.
Yep.
I was like, damn, she had a car accident.
Yep.
And then I was like, fuck, but I got to wait to watch the next one.
But
fuck.
it's just deep because it's like stuff will happen, but like you have to really think like...
It's a well done show,
you
man.
think.
It's
Yeah,
a well done
beautiful.
show.
Yeah,
Did the same people make that show that made Breaking Bad?
Yeah, same dude, Vince Gilligan
That
or whatever.
perfectly explains it. That dude's a genius. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Just so much shit connects with little shit that like you wouldn't think about. Like I think it was one of the earlier episodes in Better Call Saul where he gets the job at the law office and there's the light switch that says like do not flick or something like that, and he flicks it easily, like not even thinking about it. But then they flash back to the beginning of one of the episodes when he's working at the Cinnabon spot, and he needs to push the exit door, but it says like exit door will call police or something like that, and he's really reluctant to do it. And they're like, you see, the black and white obviously is when something happens. And he's working at the Cinnabon spot. And he's reluctant to push the door because he'll call the cops and this and that. But go back to his regular thing, and he flicks the light, no problem. And it's like just little shit that you have to connect back and forth. And just like I love the show.
Yeah, it is a good show. I'm not smart enough to follow what you just said, but I get.
Oh, yeah.
It is a good show, though. I like the show. What was I gonna say? Something I wanted to say. I'm not sure if it was about Better Call Saul, if it was about Vince Gilligan,
Maybe Gillen or the chicken spot.
or if it was about Gilligan's Island. Fuck it, it's out of my mind. You know what I like, man? Today I think was the longest day of the year. I think today was the longest day of the year.
What do you mean, like?
The longest in terms of sunlight. You get more sunlight
really?
today than you get any other day of the year.
Oh.
And it was fucking awesome.
I'm tired of going on Google and it always being like a fucking different day. Like today's National Donut Day. Today's National like.
You know what I feel, man? Since you're bringing up days, like time is going way too fast now. Like now, I just see it more than ever. Like I like June just started and now it's over.
Yeah.
That shit just started. Like I feel like it just started. And now it's like whoop, done. Wait, what the fuck?
Like summer's about to be over.
Like, what the fuck is going on? That shit is wild to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to make it slow more. Like, you gotta appreciate this and focus on this and do it. And then it's just like, boom, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm gonna blink and I'm on my deathbed. Boom. Now I'm like 72. Like,
pretty much. And that shit always happens where it's like later on, someone be like, dude, I don't even know where like time went. Like that shit went. Like if we look back on high school, like that was 10 plus years ago. You know?
oh my god, that's right. It was a full decade ago.
Like I still look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, I'm not that old.
Wait,
but I'm about to be 30. Like we're old.
I'm gonna blow your mind right now. The entire time we were in college, Obama wasn't a thing. I mean, excuse me, the entire time we were in high school, Obama wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
The whole time in high school, he wasn't a thing. It was 2008 that he won an election.
Yeah, I remember I was at.
So
I was
2006
at
he
my
wasn't even on the
second
political
college.
scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at Cortland.
I remember the 91. You remember the 91?
Same. I remember exactly. I think I smoked that night, and I never really smoke.
I think I like teared up that night.
Yeah. I was with my friend. I was just like, yo, like this shit is crazy.
That
like,
shit is crazy.
This
A
shit is-
black guy is president, and his name is Barack Hussein
Yeah.
Obama.
Yeah. I think that was the almost maybe like the perfect night to get high because I was just like, dude, like what the
What
fuck?
is
Like,
life?
yeah,
But
like,
then
this
fast
is
forward 8
wild.
years, we went from Obama to Donald fucking Trump.
Yeah.
And you know what's
I think
crazy?
you tweeted a photo that was like, if someone woke up from a coma and saw this picture, they'd be like, "Oh, it was a reality show."
Yeah, no, it was like President Trump to meet with like Senator Franken or something, like Al Franken, who was on
Yeah.
SNL. Like President Trump to meet with Senator Franken to discuss. It's like, yeah, if somebody was in a coma and you showed them this, they'd be like, no, this isn't real. I'm still dreaming. This isn't real. President Trump. And we know what's crazy? Some people had the reaction to President Trump that we had to President Obama.
Yeah.
Like some people in like the middle of the country and shit were like tearing up, like, we did it.
I thought I'd never see the day.
Jeez, man, life is fucking trippy.
Yeah, it is.
Who knows what the fuck happens next in terms of who wins the presidency? Because
Probably be like a brown cow or some shit.
that gives chocolate milk.
I saw that shit and I was just like, I don't give a fuck, one. But I didn't really think there was. I didn't know about brown cows. I don't think.
Yeah,
Am I dumb for that?
If you saw a picture, if you Google imaged brown cow, you'd be like, oh,
I'd
yeah,
be like,
I've seen
okay,
those
I've
shits.
seen that.
Yeah, you've seen them before. Yeah,
Fuck
so-
brown cows. They should just be like bulls or something.
bro,
Aren't
don't
bulls
be
brown?
racist to cows, bro. Don't do that. All right, let's wrap it up. We're working on almost 2 hours here. All right, guys. We love you, baby. Are we having? Are we doing one next week? We probably don't know yet. You know your schedule and shit, or no?
Yeah, I should be here on
Okay.
Tuesday.
All right, cool.
I want to go see that Baywatch
Oh
movie.
wait, what is is next week the 4th of July week? No, that's not next week. That's
Oh
not,
shit, July's right around the corner.
It is. It is.
Wasn't
I
your
don't know.
birthday in June? Did I say happy birthday to you in June?
My
Isn't your
birthday's
birthday
not
June?
June, dude.
Oh,
My
okay,
birthday's
good.
January 31st. When's
Oh,
your
I'm
birthday?
bugging.
Is your birthday
It
July?
starts with a J.
Is your birthday July?
July, yeah, July 15th.
July 15th. Okay. I'm going to
I said happy
that.
birthday to you in January, right?
I don't know. I don't care
think I
either.
did.
It's so
I
if
think
you
I did.
don't, it's okay. I get it. Like because look, here's the deal. Here's the deal from here on forward. If I don't say it to you, you still know I love you. If
Yeah,
you don't
that's
say it to
true.
me, I still know you love me because
That's
it's just
true.
what we're busy and shit. I don't know, and I don't have
Yeah.
Facebook either, so I don't.
And
I
that's why
can't,
Facebook helps too.
I can't double check it, and you don't know mine because it's not on Facebook. So how the fuck?
No,
are
I
you gonna
did because
know?
I think I tweeted a picture of us.
Oh, that's
or
right.
some
You may
shit.
have. Yeah. You may have got it. Yeah. Damn. Now there's extra pressure on me, and I'm gonna fuck up.
July
And that's not
15th,
that hard
so
to
I gotta
remember.
find an old picture.
The middle of the month. That's not even that hard to remember. July
Yeah, that's
15th. Okay, I gotta remember, guys. Hey, anybody listening right now, tweet me on July 15th saying "Wish Corin a happy birthday," and I'll guarantee to do it if that's the case.
You know what, my friend? You know Joe from my wedding, right?
Yeah.
He told me that he tweeted something on your account one time, like I like turtles or some shit like that.
Yeah, we were at.
Do you remember that?
Yes, we were at.
It was at my wedding.
It was at your wedding. Yeah, he was like, "Say
He
this."
was like, Kyle's mad cool, and he was like, he just let me tweet some shit on his account one time.
Yeah, because the last thing I tweeted had like a lot of tweets, and he was like, "I can't believe you got that many retweets." And I was like, "Yeah, tell me to say something, I'll say it, and it'll get retweets." He's like,
Yeah,
"Say
he's
I like
like-
turtles." I put "I like turtles." They got however many retweets. He was like, "Wow, bro, that's awesome." So next week I think we're good, but then the week after, I got to figure out what's going on for 4th of July. But
Are you doing anything?
I don't know. But I'm saying show wise, I got to figure out what's going on show wise. And
Does that even fall on a Tuesday?
I don't know.
Oh, it does. In 2 weeks, July 4th.
Okay, so maybe we
Tuesday.
won't that week, but we will next week, and we'll figure it all out. All right,
All right.
guys. We love you, and we will see you next week. Mwah. Peace.